On there. Welcome to the. You're not in the picture.
Well, I don't want it to flip over either. We're on.
Welcome to the Bob and Tam Show. We just went live. We're at the Buffalo Chip. Hey, we got a couple guests that we're gonna see if we can get them on. So let's turn our camera around. Find you there.
There's one.
There he is.
Don't forget Marilyn here, right on my left.
A little bit more. You gotta get a little closer, like you guys are friends.
Yeah.
So tell us who you are.
Marilyn Stemp, Chief Cook and Bottle Washer here.
Woody, the ubiquitous owner. He's everywhere all the time. So
Yeah.
take a good look. You'll find him out on the campground.
Yep, and he's zipping around on his motorcycle. We've seen him. I actually got a little shot of him, but I haven't put him up on the video yet of pulling out. I think it was either Saturday or Sunday. I seen him out here heading out the back door.
Yep, he hangs around with giant jerky bags and mascots of all description. He's a friendly guy.
So is everything running pretty smooth?
You know, smoother than it's ever been. I mean, you know, all these people show up. Everybody just smiling, happy to be here. They get set up in their campsite and then they head for water and a hole and, you know, listen to the band, just start looking for people that they met here years ago. And, you know, it's a family reunion.
So I see that the beach down here, we already got music going on. Started last night.
We do
Absolutely.
So that was pretty neat. So
Oh, it was a party. I couldn't believe there were a couple hundred people there. Big Skillet was playing everybody's favorite tunes, right? So, I mean, there's nothing not to like.
It was crazy.
Yeah, it was super fun. And the beach is just a nice hangout spot, don't you think?
It's fun.
Well, we just noticed we were gone all day yesterday. We just kind of went in town and drove around and we talked to a few people. I came in last night and you could see out there on that back 40 how many people were already here. It was like she goes, holy crap, look at all that. Look at all these people that are already here.
It's like, wow, it's all full.
Because you all have been here many times before, so you know the difference this year.
And well, being here early too, because that's what she said. You know, I'm really getting used to being really quiet out here because all these people are going to show up. And it really hasn't been too bad at night. It's not too loud. You know, you always you hear a motorcycle go by, but I mean, pretty much we get in the trailer, turn the air on. You really can't hear the band playing. Now we're not at the concert yet, where they're a little louder, but not too bad. We had that little bit of rain last night.
That was nice.
But you know, even when the big bands are playing, you know, when they finish up and then we do the Buffalo Chip Model Contest, right?
Yeah.
That gets to be 12:30, 1 o'clock, and then you will find most people will kind of migrate back to their own campsites, maybe have a little nightcap, and then. You know, I was always surprised covering as media out here that I could sleep. Like, I actually could sleep between like 1 and 5, you know?
Yeah. And part of that, too, is just where you camp. I mean, you can camp in front of the stage where the sound is directed right at you, or you can camp behind it, or you can camp a half a mile or 3/4 of a mile or a mile away.
Because that's what I see now. Probably out here on, what's this road out here called?
Alkali.
Road.
Alkali. I would think that little gully right over here would probably be the best quiet place on the campground. That's my thought at the moment, just by looking at. But I noticed where we're at over in Blue Sky, we don't have the wind that you have up here.
Oh, yeah, you're kind of in a dish there.
Yeah, we still get wind, but it's not as like we'll come in here at night and those flags are flying, and then we'll get down there and we're like, oh, the wind's gone.
Uh-huh.
But so that's kind of neat how different parts of the ground here it's a little
Have different weather patterns. Yeah.
Microclimates.
Yeah, there we go.
So I also seen it looks like you're going to move the burnout pit inside the amphitheater. Is that where you're going to put it? I seen a banner that says a burnout pit.
Yeah, we have 2 of them, portable ones. They each hold 2 motorcycles. You can have contests, right? So who's going to pop that tire first, kind of thing. And so yeah, we're moving it out to the garage out there, Buffalo Chip Garage at the Crossroads.
Okay.
And
Then you're handy to get that new tire.
That's right. Well, you don't even believe how many places we go that do burnouts and they don't sell tires. And I'm like, I would, I'm not going to do it anyway, but if I was going to take my motorcycle out there, I definitely would, you know, if you blow the tire and you're out at some of these campgrounds and there's nobody, like Sundance, I'm not sure even out there at Sundance if they have anybody that does tires. We'll find out when we go out there on Wednesday, but it's like, you're taking a big chance. And then if you have to pay for a tow and all this other crazy stuff.
Yeah, all that little.
Should we tell him?
Yeah.
What?
Go ahead.
Today is Wednesday.
Well, next Wednesday.
Yeah.
Oh.
We're on what I don't know what time we would call this.
Pre-party time.
Well, it's on rally time. That's what it is.
There
Rally
you
time. Yeah,
go.
we have no idea. Well, actually, because after Monday, we went in town Monday. We went someplace Monday, and we left early in the morning. And when we got up, I was like, wow, I could not believe all the traffic downtown in Sturgis. And it was like, this is almost like Friday of the rally. And then yesterday, we seen thousands of bikes driving around.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people already here.
Absolutely.
And which everybody's downtown are all saying the same thing. This June and July has just been a great year for the businesses here in town, to where actually some of them downtown are actually thinking about staying open a little longer this year,
Oh,
which would be great
interesting.
for the town.
Time will tell if we get that kind of midweek turnover. You know, traditionally
Yeah.
there's been a
You know,
midweek
we'll see.
turnover.
The whole thing is that tourism here has been up almost triple what it used to be in some places, and this would be one of those places, Deadwood. So, you know, there's tremendous tourism all season long, and, you know, people just wanted to come here, right? And it's like the band said last night, I caught this one, right? I'm kind of doing a CNN interview later today, and so I got this one. This is what I'm gonna. But the band said, "Look around, people. This is freedom."
Yeah, that's true. It
You
is.
know, they really like being here as opposed to wherever they came from, and you know, we like it here too, right? And so yeah, people will stay. They come early. They're staying longer. They're having more fun. It's just relaxing. You know, even last year, people were here saying, "God, it feels so good to be someplace that's like normal," right?
Oh yeah.
And so, you know, here it's like normal.
Yeah. And it is, we're outside a lot, you know, you got a lot of fresh air. It's like us, we've traveled all these rallies and we take the vitamins and all that stuff to stay healthy. You know, we haven't even had a cold this year.
Wow.
And which is strange because we've traveled from Florida to here to there, and the climate has changed, and it's been really good. And we take our precautions and things like that for all the things that are going on in the world. But I mean, a lot of it is, I think we're outside a lot more, especially like at a rally here. You have, like, especially here, you don't really have an inside venue. Everything's outside. The bars all opened up out there. There's a lot of air going through the big engine bars.
And
So
600 acres of fresh air, right?
Yeah.
We had tens of thousands of people here last year, 100 and some bartenders. You know, masks were optional, which meant you didn't see one anyplace, right? Social distancing was optional, so you kind of had to, okay, how far away is that person, right? But not one bartender got sick, right? I mean, nobody here got sick, and nobody should, right? And you know, it's like one of the reporters that come out trying to, you know, do the doomsday thing, right? You know, and after the interview's over, he looks around, he said, "Well, there's just no buildings out here, is there?"
And we had that last year. Inside Edition wanted to talk to us.
Yeah.
So I said, well, you call them and tell them they're not allowed to change anything I say. They got to leave full sentences. So they made the appointment, and we did it on Zoom, and then they would post it the next day. But when I got on, I first told them right off the bat, at that time they were saying there was 250,000 people here. I said, first of all, I want to let you know there's no convention center in Sturgis, and there's no big mass hall or big hotels or anything like that that's going to hold any amount of people here. So I said, there's people all over Montana, even North Dakota. There's people staying, people at the Badlands. And so they finally said, can we talk to Tam?
Yeah.
And so she gets on there and he goes, first thing they said to her was, did he drag you out there? Are you afraid?
Did he make you come out there? Are you afraid? And I said, look, we're aware, we're cautious, but we're not fearful.
Very
And,
nice.
So then we got all done with the interview, and they're like, okay, thank you. It'll probably air on Monday. And I said, well, okay. So she called them on. We never seen it on their show, so she called them up, and they're like, oh, well, your interview got scrapped.
Yeah.
Because we didn't tell them what they wanted to hear.
That's right.
And so it's a good story now that we tell our subscribers that, see, they don't really want to know the truth. Oh, I also said that because I said, I don't know where you people are getting this footage of people walking down Main Street because they show feet. I said, we have a video every day of Main Street. The only day it got crowded was Saturday, the last Saturday when the locals come in. And nobody's using that footage because it was before that. And I said, you can look at our footage, and you're happy to use any of the ones we have, but you know, you might see a group of 4 or 5 people, which are probably together, and you might not see anybody else. You look in the stores, and there was like 1 or 2 people in the stores, so it wasn't never mass people like they were trying to project on the news.
Yeah, it didn't
And
show what
they wouldn't answer
wanted.
where they got it. Well, somebody else told me the other day we were telling the story that they proved that one of the banners that were up, maybe it was the city told us that. The city told us that.
Yeah.
The banner was from 75th.
Yeah, the 70s.
Oh,
And they
yeah,
were replaying
exactly.
it. And they said, because they kept saying, no, it's current. And I don't know if it's Dan or it must have been Dan that told us that. And he said, no, we called him up and sent him a picture of the 75th with that same banner up. And I said, you got him, didn't you? So it's kind of unique and where
the media is dishonest. That's the fact of the matter is one of the owners of a local network station said, you know, it just makes me sick, some of the stuff we have to put on because the network puts it out. he said, we know it's bogus, right? But, and then just recently we had a film crew come out. He had been a big assistant for one of the anchors, news anchors on CBS. And he said, they get on to this newscast and they knew they were lying. I mean, we had all the footage, we had all of the stuff, but, it wasn't what they wanted to say. And so, they were lying. It's just as simple as that. And
it's almost like the
way it
story
is.
is written before it's
But,
recorded and told.
We had
you
in
know?
Phoenix, we've got the one newscaster she was the main person,
You're like-
and she tweeted she quit. And the reason she quit was because they would not let her say what was true.
Mhm.
She was tired of telling
Tired of
lies.
telling lies.
And then there's another girl that was in Texas, same thing happened. She actually went on air. And
meteorologist.
yeah, she went on air and stood out in the crowd and said, "This is probably going to be my last day, but I'm going to let you know that they're telling me what I have to say and telling me what I can't say. And so from today is probably going to be my last day because they're probably going to terminate me."
And
they
that's
did.
what happened.
Yeah. So it's just like, especially when you thought Fox News was actually, was more likely to tell you the truth. Well, now you don't. We rely a lot on YouTube. Where if you need something, there was a shooting the other day, which ended up not being a shooting in Las Vegas at Circus. And so we could get on YouTube and you can watch that 4-minute clip of the news just talking about that. So you got what you wanted to hear. I didn't get to hear all the other
The
crazy
analysis,
stuff.
as we call it, right?
Yeah.
The analysis.
So it's just sad that there's a lot of people sitting at home that may not really realize what's going on.
Mhm.
Well,
Or they think
tribute
they
to
do.
our governor said, government's position is not to control people's lives, it's to give them honest facts that they can make their own decisions based upon, right? And that's what she said for the state of South Dakota. People get to make their own choices, and the government hasn't screwed with their lives unnecessarily. And otherwise it's a political thing, and that's the deal. So what are they doing today? I saw a little clip the other day about Australia's got helicopters out making sure people are staying in their homes for a lockdown, I just believe that there's some people in our country that would like to be imposing the same kind of restrictions, and so ain't gonna happen here as long as we have this governor.
That's right.
Okay.
Well, I also heard that too. You're going to have, she's coming out for the Legend Ride.
Oh, yes.
Yes, we are blessed with her presence. So she will be on the Legends Ride. She'll be in Deadwood with us when we leave. She'll ride here with us. She'll be speaking at the reception, and then later that evening she's going to make an appearance on the main stage.
Oh, that'd be good.
So,
And I heard she bought a new Indians. What the gossip is? Did you hear that?
They gave it to her.
They loaned
Ah.
it to her, I guess.
Yes.
So-
But she's riding it.
Yeah, in the
So
Legends
is-
Ride.
Has she? So she is a motorcyclist. She's
Oh,
got
yeah.
a license.
Yeah, yeah.
She does. Yes.
So Woody and the governor will be leading the Legends Ride. They will be
that'd be
right
great.
at the front of the pack
That'd be
behind
pretty
the
neat.
police escort
Yep.
and her security detail.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we're hoping to get a few
'Cause-
words. We're hoping to
sec-
get a couple words out of her. We got to meet the governor in Florida too,
Yeah.
and that was really neat. It was just he was the nicest guy in the world too.
Yeah.
It was the staff kept trying to pull him away, and people would yell at him, and he'd come over and want to shake their hand, and they're pulling on him. And,
This way, and they're like, governor. And he's like, oh, wait a minute. And he takes some selfies, and
it was he was a really nice guy. We didn't get a personal interview because it was kind of a sneak thing. They brought him in. He came. Actually, they brought him in, and he watched the Wall of Death. He had a private viewing.
Oh,
They showed
cool.
that. He watched that, and the
And
Ross
was it
Myers.
the Ives brothers down there doing the Wall of Death then? Is that the
No, I
one
don't
you
think it
saw?
was
Or
the
was
Ives.
it the.
not at
Not Destination
no.
Daytona. No.
But they were
Oh, that was
somewhere
Ret Rotten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. They were there.
Yeah.
That's what we
And,
got to see. Did you
yeah.
get to see him? Were you
Oh,
there the
yeah.
whole time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those are great guys too.
They are.
And all of these guys that do that kind of stuff is really. We've met so many. I just thought there was like one or two of those guys out here doing that, and then you find out like these guys. It's been a family been
Yes.
doing it, and then we watch them how they put it together. And there's sometimes they got to change a piece of wood. And one time, I guess down in Leesburg, the ground wasn't real good, and it actually moved during one of the
It
shows.
was kind of on
Whoa.
The
gravel.
vibration.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
So
so
they
when
had to
go
come back
around,
out
So
and-
every show, they had to make sure everything was still
and where it was
stable
supposed
and
to be.
underneath.
And I said, well, that's part of the fun.
Yeah, so you're out there and ping.
Because I said, is it ever fall over or anything? They're like, oh no, it moves a little bit. He says it won't fall apart. And I said, well, that's just a lot. And to watch them put that thing together every time, and they level it all up, and
It's
we got to
amazing.
meet the
That's a lot of
dad and the
work.
mom in Leesburg. They came in. I guess they live in Florida, so we got to meet them, and they were kind of neat too. But
Definitely.
it's neat. That's what,
And these guys, the brothers, will get out and just do some stunt riding
yeah.
for fun.
oh, well, they.
You know, because they go in circles a
Yeah.
lot. So if they can have a chance to do a little straight line, they
So
give
who
it a
does
shot.
the stunt riding out here when you have it?
Hodge Brothers.
Oh, it's
Well, we have lots of different people.
Oh.
Bell
Well, the
Brawl
Bell
will
Brawl.
be here on Sunday, and Saturday and Sunday, I guess. And there'll be some other folks to show up. and do some
XDL,
stunts. Yep,
we got a
yep,
group of guys
BMW's
gonna do
team.
some BMW stunt riding in the amphitheater.
And we got to get with Cody today. He was supposed to make our list up, and every time we remind him, he's like, "Thanks for reminding me." I said, "To give us a copy? No, for me to finish that up." A lot of people when we come in and we say something, we're like, "We're really glad you're here because you remind us of the things we still need to get done before everything gets going."
Well, that's
I
right.
said,
You got your bike builders breakfast too coming up on Sunday.
Oh,
You wanna
yes.
Tell them a little bit about that.
Yeah, that's really exciting stuff. It's our 7th annual. I can't believe 7 years already, but the Buffalo Chip stepped up to host us from the beginning. Flying Piston Builders Breakfast. We invite all the builders from Motorcycles as Art, that exhibit you mentioned.
Yep.
That's at the back of the property. And they come just as our guests, and then folks buy tickets for the opportunity to meet and greet and enjoy some time with bike builders, pick their brains. And we also unveil our little tiny customs. Strider Bikes gives
Okay.
us little
Are
playing
you gonna do the auction
style.
on that again?
Not here. We do
Okay.
the auction in Vegas.
Okay.
Meekum lets us have a little bit of stage time
Okay.
at that big motorcycle auction, so it's an
All
awesome
right, that'd be
opportunity
neat.
for us.
That's
we
neat,
we
'cause-
unveil them here though, so
'cause
first
it's-
time.
And Daytona's the first time I'd ever gone to one of those.
Oh,
and I'm not a
yes.
big, I don't know a lot of builders. I never really, I don't know. I like a lot of the bikes they make, but I never really got to meet any of them or anything like that. But to go to that breakfast and have that opportunity, they're all so nice and they're happy to give you out information. And
Yeah.
we met Rusty Wallace and his son last year.
That was cool.
And you would have never dreamed that a guy like him that's had a career that he has, that he's so down to earth.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
and he'll be out here in fact for
He gets
Wednesday's
here
ride.
today.
Oh, does he?
He gets here today.
He
already,
does
yeah.
the charity ride on Wednesday, based at the Chip, right? So actually, they start at Black Hills Harley.
Yeah, 'cause that's the
Harley
Rusty
come to the
Wallace-
tip.
And
Yep,
Rusty Wallace charity ride.
Mhm.
Yep.
And then they end up here for the reception and their auction.
Okay.
So,
So that's going to be pretty neat.
and you're right, he is so down to earth. He's just, and
And
Steven,
his son.
his
Oh
son
yeah,
is
his son
awesome
is.
too.
'Cause we didn't get to
Yeah.
talk to him first, his son, and then we went over. They were at
Broken Spoke.
They had their booth set up there.
Yes.
And we talked to him, and it was like, you know, you just a lot of times when you think about talking to people like that, you just don't think they would be cordial to you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then when you actually talk to them, it's like, wow, you're like me. You're just an ordinary guy.
We just like bikes, right? We just want to talk
Yeah.
about motorcycles.
So it's
Have the
that-
wind in our face
Yeah,
and
so it's
talk about bikes.
a lot. We're seeing things because we've been out to Sturgis over the last 20 years about 8 times, and the thing that I find out that we did was, and I think, and I talk to people that say the same thing. You come out, you do the same thing all the time. You go to the same bars, you do the same things, and then last year that's when we went out and we started finding all these different things going on. Just like here at the Chip, there's so much stuff going on.
But that's
that-
why people come back, right? Because
Yeah.
you can't do it all in
Yeah.
1 year. So
That's
let's
right.
do some different things. Add a new thing or
Yeah.
two each year,
Yeah.
right?
And it is so you can see all the different things to do, and then you can kind of plan out, hey, I want to see Kid Rock tonight, or I want to see this bike show over here, or wherever. You can kind of make if you can see it, but everybody's putting everything up, and there's really not one source to put everything together. To say, you know, there's a lot of websites that have stuff, but they don't have everything.
But that's what's so valuable about what you and Tam are doing. You are aggregating all this information for viewers. And I think that's so important. And it's a real service to riders and to the industry.
A lot of people think us, and that's
Yes.
what we do. I mean, you know, we didn't know where to go or where everything was, and so, you know, it's just giving out good information to people and helping other bikers and getting them out on the road and getting them places.
Well, if it
Wow,
wouldn't have
it's
been
awesome.
last year's full throttle, or last year's Sturgis, we would have never done what we did, because all the stuff, we actually talked to you on the phone last year before the rally came, because we heard all these rumors the city was they're gonna lock the streets up, they're not gonna let anybody in town. Well, I called here, I got you for a few seconds, we got Michael Ballard for a few seconds, she talked to the city, and we found out, 'cause I think when I talked to you, you said, hey, we're open, we're gonna have a party, come on out. And and Michael Ballard said kind of the same thing, and then the city's like, no, the only thing we can do is not have permits for people outside, and we can not have the parking close the streets down, but you can still park on it. We can't stop anybody from having a business inside and all that. So we kind of followed that around. So then we started wanting to put out the real facts. They can't close LaSalle and Junction down because they're state highways, and they can't stop you from driving through town. They can't stop this, can't that. So that's what kind of started our channel. And then when we got here, we were already having people wanting to know that stuff. So then we just stepped up. Like this year, we actually got the police chief. I would have never known, and actually it's my best video right now. We sat down and talked about marijuana, what's legal, what's not. Talked about guns, because a lot of people here, just like you don't allow guns here, but legally by the state of South Dakota, you can't. because 50% of your sales is alcohol. So really nowhere in Sturgis or in this area, a campground that's selling beer only, if that's more than 50%, you can't legally carry a gun. So a lot of people think it's because it's a concealed carry state, you can, but it depends on the state you came from. So if your state came from California, that doesn't let you carry an open or conceal, unless you have a gun card from there, you can't legally carry here. So it was kind of interesting, all the things he taught. We talked about the open container, because that's new this year down there, and people didn't really understand, which we didn't. Even the city didn't know what they were doing. So we thought when we asked the chief of police, he's the one that's going to tell his officers what they're going to do.
And
so,
enforce it,
yes.
yes.
So we were able to figure out what it is. Some of the bars said they were going to sell cups, and we found out that's fine, but you can't carry those on the street. You got to have the clear ones that the city sells.
See,
So-
the service you guys are providing, you're getting down to what the facts are and letting people know.
And it's like the Hells Angels.
Trying to
See,
keep people out of trouble.
That's
everybody
right.
said the same thing. Hells Angels, there's going to be 80,000 here. They just had their rally last week in Montana. So it's not going to be, there might be a few extra here, but it's not going to be nothing more than they normally have. They got stores downtown, and it's like I tell you, look, you give them respect, you're not going to have any trouble. And they're running around town now, and they'll even chat with you. We actually talked to, I won't say his name, guy that was pretty high up in the Hells Angels yesterday, and he spent a little time in the federal pen for what he did, and he learned his ways, and but he told us a lot of the story and things like that, and he came here to because being that they had it, they always bring some of the big president and some of them from the different chapters. They'll all be out here during the rally off and on.
Yeah.
But I mean, people just are so afraid, thinking that it's like the old motorcycle clubs where they came in and tore stuff up, and
We're all just bikers having fun, right?
It's a different world, and most Daytona was like that. There was like 500 Mongols showed up at Destination Daytona, and I was like, holy crap, something going to happen. Well, we cornered a couple of them and just chatted with them, not on camera, and said, hey, what's going on? And they're like, oh, we just came out to have a good time. We come out every year. But they were from all over, California and New York. And
What do you always say? Just the nicest people come here, right?
Yeah.
We just always have nice people here.
and people aren't really necessarily looking for trouble. It's like even here, there could be a drunk guy or drunk girl who gets stupid, and that can happen at times.
It's happened to the best of us
That's
once
right.
or twice.
And hopefully your friends that are with you will take care of you. And,
That's
'cause
right.
Somebody else asked that the other day. There's a police patrol here, and I don't know, somebody in the office I talked to, and they said, well, the only time the police come out here is usually when they're arresting somebody because they got called. So other than that, you don't really, which I don't think they really come to any campground unless they're called.
They don't want to, so we take care of everything ourselves.
Yeah, we
Got
have
a lot
our
of
own
security
security.
here,
Well, they're ambassadors, right? I mean, we really haven't had any problem. That's one of the things that entertainment people say, God, how can you have so many people here and never have any trouble, right? That's what she said. We all have nice, everybody here is nice people.
Yeah.
And that's really the fact of the matter. So, yeah, we don't, we give directions, right? East, west, north, north, right?
And you might not want to do that. That's the kind of direction that can be helpful sometimes.
Gentle guidance. Huh?
Yes, a little guidance.
But I mean, even like here, we got so many, I don't know how many's here already, but there's a lot of people here. But you can look around. There's not any trash even thrown around.
Oh, never.
People,
It's clean, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's an entire crew that takes care of that, and they
But
are
even then, I
vigilant.
think the people are more. We didn't notice it last year when we were filming, and people kept saying how clean it was. Well, I thought they were talking language. Nobody was cussing on our cameras, or we don't do that anyway. We got to do that out. But then after a couple of days, we finally figured out. Oh, they're talking about they're not seeing people throw trash on the ground, and it's like, and so we started looking for that then. And you'd see somebody throw their cup in the trash can, or they'd walk across and throw it away, and it's like people are very irresponsible.
Probably
Yeah.
for 12 or 15 years we had a standing, when I was in media, we had a standing interview on that Sunday. And I remember one year, you were going to walk around the campground, so we took the little four-wheeler or whatever, did a ride around the campground. This is Sunday after 10 straight days of thousands of people. And I said, why is it so clean here? I mean, right in the middle of the amphitheater, Sunday at like noon. It was impeccably clean and picked up. We just didn't see any trash around. And that's just how the crew operates. They just stay on it.
Yeah, because we seen the guys this morning were already out checking trash bags, checking
Yeah.
their trash cans, making sure even if they were half full, they were taking them out.
No, people put stuff in the trash cans. We bought 300 more trash cans this year, and then we put them out. So there was a trash can close. So you know,
They actually put one right in front of my trailer
Yeah,
for
it's
me.
like that.
There we
I said,
go.
look, we got a special trash can. So it's kind of nice. Well, we're so used to so many of the other campgrounds, you got to haul your trash always up to the dumpsters.
Mhm.
And it's tough if you're on a motorcycle to drag your trash up to a trash can.
Mhm.
So to have yours out, plus you've got the big 55-gallon barrels, so people can put their daily trash in the barrels and stuff.
Well, look at that. See, there's another bonus we're providing I
That's
wasn't
right.
even aware of.
That's
Another
right.
amenity at the Buffalo
That's
Chip.
right. We need to tell people that, because that is, you'd be surprised, most even regular campgrounds have nothing to do with rallies. We almost always have to go to a dumpster to put our trash away.
Yeah.
We were just at the 76 campground, that's the way they had it.
And tough to do on a bike. You're
That's right.
exactly right.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well,
it's-
cool. Thanks for bringing that one to light for us.
One more positive you can
Yeah.
add to your list.
That's why I said I'm not
Definitely.
here to tell you how to run your business. We'll be happy to give you suggestions. You can take them or leave them. You won't hurt my feelings at all. Because that's what we're here today. We're at the church that we have here at the Chip. They actually have pancake breakfast every morning.
You want to
Sounds
say that?
like
Somebody
it.
was asking
Free
about
pancakes.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, we should talk.
Well, you
We
just let
should
'em
talk
talk
to
about
those
it. They're
folks
chilling.
and get
Okay.
their story.
Pretty
They're
popular
wonderful.
There they are.
They're really nice
More
people.
coffee. See, they even come out.
Yeah.
And this lady
Service here
has
is outstanding.
An excellent
a
voice.
voice
She
like it.
sings,
Yes.
yes.
All right.
Yeah, she
Amazing.
does.
Even with
Excellent
the
voice.
face shield and everything, she was really good.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much. That's why they call me the singing coffee girl.
All right, there you go. That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
Well, I better go to work.
Alrighty.
we understand that. We thank you for the time that
Yeah.
you gave us.
Yes.
And
And
we
a
will
lot of
definitely-
people are online saying hi, Woody. So
Okay,
I
well,
didn't
hi,
want to
guys.
interrupt.
Come on out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're having a good
A lot
time.
of people
And
said they were on their way. So
Good, yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah, show hasn't really started, but the party has.
that's what I said.
Yeah.
Everybody here, that's what I keep saying. I have never seen such a happy staff at the gates and all that. And I said, well, we're going to have to see after Friday how you guys are. They're still all cheery. And they said, okay, we'll try.
they
But-
are.
but it
Even
is, I've
earlier
never-
when we were here.
You know, they're all yelling, welcome to the Chip. And they're so friendly and stuff like that. And
The party
it's-
starts
it's-
out when you're checking in because they're all out there. Woot woot.
Yeah.
it's
that's
very
great.
it's very impressive. I would have never expected that here. We came in last year and just filmed a few seconds of the length of the traffic here, and then we left. So this year, you know, opening day, we sat out here for a little while, probably almost an hour.
Yeah.
And so all the staff pretty much knows who we are too. And,
Well,
so-
that's the front porch of the
Yeah.
Chip. Those folks
Yeah.
are
It
the
is,
welcoming
yeah.
committee, right?
yeah.
So it's
So
like
it's really neat, and they do a really good job. And
Yeah. Well, thank you
pretty
for
good.
your time. We'll let
Well,
you guys get going.
yeah, thank you guys. And
thank you.
Alrighty.
we'll see all you
Appreciate it.
kids later. Don't forget, come to Sturgis, Buffalo Chip.
keep having fun.
Alrighty.
Alrighty.
Thanks. So,
All right, so that was a little different. We got
Yep.
to have Woody come down, and it's Marilyn, right?
Yeah, Marilyn.
Marilyn to talk to us. She's in charge of all the bike shows. She's doing the breakfast for the bike builders, which we will be there. If you want to check us out during that, you need to come in. And I think it's only $25. You get a breakfast. You get to meet all these great people.
Bike builders.
And if you're into bike building, you know, they'll sign autographs and all that good stuff for you while you're there. But I mean, you can ask them about bikes, you can ask them about anything, and it's really, and it's
Get
not,
warm.
it wasn't overly, like in Daytona, now we haven't done the one here yet, but in Daytona, it wasn't overly crowded or packed. So it was easy to get to somebody. We met a lot of people. That's actually how we ended up in Nashville, because the couple that was putting on the Nashville rally at Loretta Lynn's, they were there. And somebody said, hey, you guys need to go talk to them. They probably could use your help promoting their rally. So we talked to them, and that's how we ended up in Nashville. So it's kind of neat. Anything going on?
No, not a whole lot. They're just they were saying it was a great interview. They, I guess, enjoyed talking, seeing Woody talk and Marilyn.
And what's neat is I feel really special because Woody actually knows who we are, and which I would have never. I thought there's a couple other really big YouTubers coming out, and when I questioned, because when I was talking to Woody we did an interview which won't come out till after the rally. It's 40 years of the Buffalo Chip. We're going to show some great pictures. We're going to get a bunch of his staff talking, and he's going to tell us some history, fun things to do, and how he started and how it all began. It's going to be pretty neat. And at that point, I said, you know, I know you're a really busy man. I said, there's going to be a lot of other YouTubers out here, and I rattled off some of their names, and he's like, who are they? And I'm like, I just kind of smiled, and then I said, yeah, you know, and I said, well, hopefully by the time the rally's over, you'll figure out who we are, and hopefully you'll remember us. And then later on that day, his assistant, which is Chris, she's the main person you contact if you want to talk to Woody. You got to talk to her first. And I said, yeah, I know Woody doesn't know who we are. And she goes, no, they don't. He does know who you guys are. I said, no, he don't. She said, no, just the other day he came out of his office and he said, hey, isn't that young couple here, that Bob and
Young couple.
yeah. And she ran out of the office and said, Tam. And he said, yeah, that Bob and Tam, those video people, those YouTubers. And I said, I was overly shocked because, you know, he sees millions of people and you know, it's like meeting Rusty Wallace. I know there's no way Rusty Wallace could remember me from Daytona talking to him. But I mean, you talk to these people and you know they've got so many people that they deal with. But I mean, to me, it was a real honor to have him actually recognize us and realize who we are. And like here, he did the same thing. He waved to us when we sat down here. And so Tam went over and said, hey, do you guys want to come over and get involved with our live? Because it wasn't planned. And he's like, yeah, sure, I'll come over and talk with you guys. So, and it is. And if you watch his interviews, you can see he actually smiled a few times now. And he's definitely a lawyer. He doesn't have very many. When we talk to him and I ask him things, he has no expression. Doesn't shake his head yes, doesn't shake his head no. He just looks straight at you, no expression, and goes on. How many times?
How can I get the things to come up?
You can't. This is YouTube. I mean, I'm just doing streaming through YouTube, but this isn't a
okay.
StreamYard.
All right. So I'm trying to answer your questions on...
So we've been to Sturgis about 8 or 9 times over the last 20 years. We came out, what do you think the first year was?
Well, it was when I broke had my foot surgery, so we think that was 2008.
So what happened is we watched the Full Throttle show. And I had never been to a bike rally. We had some things back in Illinois. I belonged to the AMA, American Motorcycle Association. We had some rides and stuff that we went on with them. And they had a few little events that we went to. And then when we came to California, I started out with a Goldwing. And we sold that and we bought a used Harley. And in our town of Corona, California, we had our own Harley dealer. It was a sub of another store. And so we went in there and I bought my bike. Well, I bought my bike from there. I had it worked on. And they said, we have a thing called a hog group. If you guys would be interested, we're getting ready to put a new one together. And we're like, I don't know, maybe, maybe not. But we really didn't know anybody. We just kind of moved to California. So we thought, you know, if they do rides and stuff, maybe that would be fun. Well, it ended up being the greatest hog group I could have ever been in. I've never found
a bunch of people.
Yeah, never found another one like it. It was mainly a lot of women. You'd be surprised how many men would sit at home and rather watch a football game than go riding with their wives. So their wives all had their own bikes and they rode with us guys. So there'd be like 5 or 6 guys and about 20 women riding with us all the time. And they loved to ride. We went to the Grand Canyon and did all kinds of neat stuff with them. And from that, we met a lot of good friends. And I took some up north all the way to Oregon on a ride and just had a great time. Actually, my best friend, Art. He's at work now, so he's not watching. That's how I met him. He was one of the guys that he just loved to ride. Didn't care where we went, didn't care what we did, because I'm one of those guys that unless we plan a ride like tomorrow we're going to be doing a ride. Other than that, I get on the bike and it's the way the wind blows me. And I have no idea where we're going. I don't know idea where we're going to stop. We could end up in Morro Bay, or we could end up down by Mexico border, or we could end up out in Nevada. Who knows?
So give us a bunch of thumbs up where the wind blows you.
Yeah, is that what somebody said?
No, that's what I said.
What is? You never heard that saying, where the wind blows you? She's blonde. They like my phrase.
Everybody says, give us a thumbs up. There's 123 on right now. For early in the morning, that's pretty good, I guess.
So we had some technical difficulties this morning with YouTube. I do 2 different things. We have YouTube, we have another thing that's called StreamYard. And I put this up on YouTube, and I probably should have used StreamYard, which I will from now on, because it wouldn't let me go back to the thumbnail that I actually had scheduled for this time. And then we're screwed up in time because we live in Arizona and we don't change time. So actually in Arizona, it's an hour earlier. It's the same time as California, Pacific time. And then in the winter time, we don't switch back, and then we're the same as mountain time. So when I put in mountain time, which is where we're at now, we're in mountain time, it puts it back
Arizona time.
Yeah, so it puts it back an hour different. So when I put up here that I wanted this to go live at 7:30 this morning, it put up 8:30 this morning. So then I kind of panicked. I tried to change everything and it wouldn't change because we were going to film all the people coming in. Well, if you found out, the staff told me wrong. Woody told us right. It's going to be Friday.
Will be the busy day.
Yeah, and I don't know if we're
'Cause
going to do
that's
that or
actually
not.
when the rally officially starts on the 6th.
Yeah. So, but what we're probably not going to do is film the gate again. We might show a little bit of that because I had a few people complain that we talked to way too many RVers. You got to look at this here at a rally. We've come out here. We've never stayed in tent. We're not tent campers anymore. We did tents
Used to.
back in the 80s.
When we were younger.
That's right. It's a little tough when you're older to lay on the ground, and those air mattresses don't hold air, and there's a lot of guys here that are doing it, and we're going to be talking to them. I talked to one this morning actually from Effingham, Illinois, and he was asking me where the best tent camp spots were, and I was showing him where they were at because he was confused. And he got here late last night and slept outside till 3:30, and then somebody invited him to sleep in. They were in another campground across the street, and they let him sleep in his van. He said he should have gotten in the van a lot earlier, and because he kept waking up like every 15 minutes. But he got here late last night, and he didn't know that you have to be here before 7:30 to get in.
We got the UK here. Plu, I don't know, P-O-L-U. And he says it's 4 p.m. there. So 4th year in a tent, Daniel says.
There you
So
go.
that's good.
A lot of people still coming up.
They do.
One of our YouTube friends, is it Mohawk Mike?
Yeah.
He's not leaving. I think he said just Saturday. And so he's going to get here kind of late.
He lives out by us in Arizona.
In Arizona. And so he's going to be coming out. And he commented earlier this morning before we came on, so I don't know if he's still on or not. But it's pretty exciting out here. A lot of things are going on. A lot of people are here. People are asking about searching the vehicles. We're going to ask somebody. I didn't see him take nothing out of anybody's vehicle. So I don't know how hard they're really looking for anything. I think what somebody else told me is they're looking for kegs. If you got a keg in your RV or in your trunk of your car or strapped to the back of your motorcycle, they're going to take that. I've had a couple people say that, and it's very possible. They got a little shed over here where they confiscate stuff at. But if somebody said, well, what do they do with it? What are they going to do with it? Drink it? Well, no. What they do is they got little baskets over here, like milk crates is what they are, and they'll put your stuff in it. And when you pull out of the gate,
they'll give it back to you
this afternoon. You can pull out, grab it, go put it in the cooler, go someplace and sit and drink it, and then come back and you drink your beer. So they're not going to take it permanently. And if you do bring a firearm here, they put it in the office and they lock it up. You really, and I understand people traveling and stuff, and a lot of people do carry guns all the time. And
Daniel says they don't search motorcycles at all. I guess he's already been through.
Yeah, they don't.
And then John says, don't be stupid with what you bring.
That's right.
I think it's kind of like the what do they call it? When you, like the boxes of candy, the honor system.
Yeah.
So they're asking you not to bring your guns, your dogs, and any alcohol. So I think it's mostly on the honor system. They're asking you to do that.
And they're in and out of it so quick. They're not looking under. I don't think they even open your refrigerator up. I don't think they're looking under people's sofas and things like that. But what they say is the one big thing says when the rally gets started, they have the option to check cars and UTVs that come in and out of the gate. That they're going to glance at. But I mean, we came in last night with a bag of ice on the bike, and it was in a plastic bag. I guess you could look at it and tell it was ice, but I mean, we could have shoved some beers inside of it, and you would have never known. So,
or some White Claws or Trulies.
Yeah. So
they want to know the rules on knives. I guess you can bring a knife.
Yeah, there's nothing here about knives. There's guys I've seen carried around a knife. Don't bring a machete out here. But I mean, a lot of guys have them strapped on. I don't see any. There's nothing here. But see, actually, South Dakota law, which we talked about earlier with Woody, is you can't carry a firearm in any business that sells more than 50% of their sales is alcohol. That's state law. So you could get arrested by the state police. You could be arrested by anybody. So in a case like that, he's telling you can't bring a gun in here. But in his case, he doesn't have to say that because the law requires that you don't. So if you were in here and you showed your gun to somebody and they turned you in, you could end up with a pretty stiff fine or in jail. Who knows what could all happen. But just to let you know, there really isn't a need, and I'm not going to say anything about anything else, but I mean, there's really not a need to be carrying a gun around here in Sturgis probably. There's probably a handful of guys that do carry guns, and
they said all the locals do. So
I don't know.
When I called last year, that's what Kat told me from the Chamber of Commerce. She says, I'll just tell you this right now, honey, if you're not packing, the lady sitting next to you is, so don't worry about it.
But I don't see anything. So, like, we're in Arizona, and you can usually see most people that's got a concealed carry gun, things like that. And I know there's gun vests and all that kind of stuff, too, that covers it up pretty well. So, I don't see it. I didn't see him taking any guns out. I didn't see him taking any beer out of anybody's vehicle. I didn't see any of that when we filmed the other day for an hour and stuff. I couldn't find the guy because I really, which I was going to do, which I still may do one of the days that I see him out there searching, is ask somebody after they got searched what they looked at. How in depth did it get? But I mean, you know, you can go out and drink all day long and buy drinks and drink out the property here. You know,
154, give us some thumbs up.
Yeah, they sell beer here and it's not a bad price. And you know, because it's you know, gas stations are about the only thing around here. The grocery stores aren't that cheap, and if you're gonna go all the way into Walmart, it's Spearfish. That's a long drive to buy your beer. By the time you
no Walmart in Sturgis.
Yeah. So if you go all the way into Spearfish, by the time you wait, you know, if you're driving a car or a truck or whatever you might have, you know, you're not gonna buy a lot of beer on a motorcycle. Buy a 6-pack, or I guess you could strap a 12-pack, or maybe some fool, not saying he's a fool, strap a case to the back of his luggage rack. But I guess anything's possible. But I mean, by the time you figure the extra gas you're going to waste, you know, if you're on a motorcycle, you're going to use at least a gallon or two. Gas is $3.50 a gallon now. So by the time you add that up to what they were selling the beer here, it was actually cheaper to buy the beer here. Unless you had something unique you're drinking that they don't sell here, which that's possible. So, but one of the things I did see, which I should have asked him, that some people bought beers from the Big Throttle, Big Engine Bar, and they made them dump it out when they came through here.
Really?
Yeah. So.
Well, you think it's on property?
Yeah,
I don't know.
you would think, but I mean, I just would have assumed you would have been able to do that, but I guess not. So we're gonna have to ask him that question, and we'll get back with you on that.
So Greg Allman just subscribed. He's a new subscriber. Thank you,
Go.
Greg.
Thank you. We appreciate that. And that's one of the challenges we have out here. Somebody came up the other day and they said, you know, you guys look like a bunch of spoiled little rich. I won't say what he said. Because you have all this, you know, you got a nice trailer, you got a truck, you got an expensive motorcycle, and a golf cart, and it's like, you know, and then you want us to give you money. I don't see that that's right. Well, we've been married 42 years.
We've worked for everything we've gotten.
We lived for a long time. We raised our kids, and we got married 18. Oldest daughter was born when? What year?
83.
Okay, so 83. So by the time they got to be 16, 17 years old, we finally got to where we started getting a decent job. Well, at that time, I owned my own business too and didn't make a lot of money in that one either. But she always had a good job. And I sent her through college. And she got a master's degree. And so I was always an auto mechanic, things like that. Never made a whole lot of money, things like that. And we actually lived in a mobile home. Probably the majority of our life and our kids growing up, they lived in a mobile home. That's all we could afford. And, you know, and I'm not, you know, not proud or either way. It was just, that's what we could afford and that's what we lived. We had usually one nice car, but for years we just had junk that we drove, old cars that I bought, paid cash for and drove around.
That's a mechanic's car never gets fixed, let me tell you.
And so it wasn't until we moved to California, which was about 20 years ago, we both got very good jobs. I worked for a utility company, SoCal Gas, and I was a gas technician. She got a job, well, actually, when we moved to California, they offered her 3 times the money that she made in Illinois. Back then, for what she was a radiation therapist, she made good money in St. Louis, but they tripled it to come to California. I came out here with no job. And I looked around for things. I sold all my tools because I was tired of being a mechanic. I didn't want to do that anymore. So when I came out here, I was going to get into film. I wanted to be working on a TV show or something. I did that, and it's the most boring job in the world. You spend a whole lot of time, 12 to 14 hours a day, sitting around waiting for them to make a decision on a 3-second clip that they made. Oh, we got a super chat.
Oh, thank you.
What is it?
2016 Street Glide Special.
That's right. He really comes through a lot for us.
He does.
He's one of our good, loyal
Don't forget
supporters.
to give us a thumbs up.
Yeah. Is there another one come up? The same one?
No, same one.
Okay. We thank you all for super chats. That helps us out too. But I didn't want to give a sob story about all this, but we made really good money when we were in California. Our kids were grown. And when they first moved out here, they didn't have any kids. They weren't married or anything yet. So we were able to, we saved a lot. Tam had a 401 at work, and she dumped a lot of her money in the 401. I actually had a pension plus a 401. And I only spent 17 years, so I didn't get a very good pension when I retired. But the reason we retired is this. 3 years ago, well, Tam's got fibromyalgia, and she's had it for about 20, probably close to 25 years now. We've had good days, bad days. For a while, she couldn't even get out of bed.
Since 93.
Yeah, so she's had a lot of trouble with it. We went through a lot of stress and a lot of turmoil. There's days that she was in a hospital for 3 days, and they thought they couldn't find out what was wrong. They said she was crazy. and it was all in her head.
Believe
And this
that?
is before fibromyalgia was ever considered it was a syndrome at that time.
I've had it since '93. I didn't get diagnosed until like 2004.
Yeah. So we thought when she got diagnosed, great. We finally found out from a SLU hospital in St. Louis that she had fibromyalgia. We're gonna get fixed. Well, they sent her to a doctor, and all he did was drug her up. She couldn't tell what day it was. She didn't know our name. She didn't know nothing. Well, she said that was a drug that actually people were killing their families on. So she got off of it, and she wasn't supposed to quit right away. And
You're supposed to be weaned off of it, and I just said, this is what that is?
So then that's what got us to California. We came out to California to see a specialist that was supposed to be, when it was a syndrome, that said he could cure you of fibromyalgia. So we flew out to California the first time to see this guy at the UCLA in Santa Monica. And he sat her down and told her all this stuff and said he had a theory on how it was what was causing it to inflame, because it's like arthritis, but it affects your muscles.
Not
And
your bones.
yeah, a lot of women get it and some men get it, and she's got like knots on her body. It's like there's 28 pressure points,
Yeah.
and she had 26 of them. And so we had days that she just couldn't get up. There's not a day goes
This
by.
morning was getting close to that.
We rained last night. She usually knows about 3 days before it rains. She can tell me it's going to rain. She also there's not a day that goes by she doesn't have a headache. And she doesn't.
Well, he calls me his train wreck, so.
Well, we just want to kind of explain why we did what we did. So she ended up, she was a radiation therapist, she made the big money. And I work for the gas company. I make good money, not as much as she made. Until I was president of the union, I made more money than her. But that was only for 3 years. And so what ended up happening was she came home one day and says, I can't do this anymore. I said, you can't do what? She says, I can't go to work. I can't stand all day. When I sit, I hurt. My back hurts. My legs hurt. My head is killing me. So in California, you can actually go out on disability for up to a year. And so she ended up going to the doctor. They took her out for a couple months. They took her out for a couple more months. Took her out, and she was out for a year. And then after that, she still couldn't get to where, because we're like, why don't you try to do stuff? Why don't you try to stay on your feet all day and see if you can do it around the house or go to the mall and walk around? Well, she still couldn't do it. That's why you don't see her a lot all the time on the camera. She can't sit too long. When we do these lives, she sits for an hour. She gets pretty bad, and
It's
she
hard
can't
to
get
walk
up.
for a while.
And so we have issues, and we deal with those. And you don't see a lot of that on our channel because we don't want you to feel sorry for her. Don't feel sorry for us. We've done all right with this. We've survived with this, and we cope with it, and
You just
we're
learn
okay.
how to deal with it. You just live in pain every day, and my mom always raised me that you wake up every morning with a smile on your face.
And there you go. So at that point, she said she couldn't work anymore. So in California, it's very expensive to rent. So we had sold our house several years before, and we were paying, is it $18.95? $18.95 for a one-bedroom apartment.
A studio.
600 square feet. I think it was 500 square feet.
I know, it wasn't very big.
And with you still had to pay all your utilities and everything else. And electricity in California is crazy. Your average electric bill is about $200 most time. And during the summer, when it gets like around 90s to 100s, it can raise you as much as $700 a month. So we decided that, hey, why don't you move out? We bought a house. My mom passed away 6 years ago, and I did not come from a rich family. We were blue collar workers. My dad was an industrial engineer. He did time study. He never made any real money. He was stupid for what he did. I couldn't believe after he was gone, how much he really made. My mom told me, and how he lived on that, I don't know. My dad made, this is even back into the 80s. My dad didn't make $12,000 a year, and how we lived on. My mom never worked. How we lived on that is my mom can rub 2 pennies together and get $1 out of it.
Yeah.
And
She was extremely thrifty.
yes, and my grandma died way long time ago. Probably when we were still going. I guess we just got married.
It was up when we were in Peru.
My grandma's probably been gone 40 years, and she had a farm a long time ago. My mom grew up on, and
Campbell Hill, Illinois.
yeah, and my grandma, same way. She didn't spend any money. She grew all of her own crops, and she had a garden, and the house was paid for. She saved her money. So when my grandma died, she had 3 sisters with my mom, and she had money and they divided it up. My mom put that in the bank, and that was back when they paid 12% interest. So it grew really good for, I don't know, 10 years. She made a lot of money. Once again, my mom will not spend any money. My mom lived on, which we didn't know till after she passed away. She was living on for a long time, $400 a month. That's all she ate. She ate a lot of beans and hot dogs. We didn't really know a lot of that because she would not. It was a whole nother story, which I won't get into. But my mom was very thrifty. So when my mom passed away, my brother and sister and me, we got to divide up her money. Wasn't a lot of money, but I knew my mom didn't want me to waste that money. She always talked about saving for the future. So we decided that we couldn't afford to live in California and retire. No matter even if we worked till we were 72 years old, you could not retire in California unless you were back there 20 years ago and you bought a house at a reasonable price. A condo in California is about anywhere from $550,000 to $1 million for a condo. So, and this is Orange County. Now, there's other places you can go out to Santa Ana, and you can go different places. You can get a little bit cheaper, but they're not good neighborhoods. So we knew we could never retire in California. So we still, our daughters are still there, and we won't get into all that. They got really good jobs. One's a video production. He does TV commercials, and the other one works for
he helps us a lot.
Yeah,
Thanks,
he did
Dad.
the logo in the front.
He did.
And the other one works for the city of Anaheim, and he's got a real good job. He's got a pension, too, if he stays with it. And he's got a 100% pension, which I never got. We only got 46% if I would have made it 35 years, which, once again, I left at 17. So what ended up happening with Tam was she could not go back to work. So
it got to the point where I felt like I was a hindrance to my coworkers. I couldn't keep up with them getting out of the room. I couldn't lift stuff. It was a mess. So I said, I can't do this to them and my patients.
So after the year of being on disability, we decided that we would ship her out to the house in Arizona, which is 250 miles from us where we lived in California, in Orange County. So at that point, I moved in with a buddy that he was going through a divorce. And so I moved in with him and lived with him for, I don't know, 3 or 4 months. And then his mom and dad weren't doing real well, so he moved them in, and they said, oh, no, you could still sleep in the boys' room or in the living room on an air mattress. And I'm like, no, thanks. Well, I fixed up, which my kids know now, but I wouldn't tell them at first. I fixed up a Ford Expedition. I built a frame inside. I put a bed in it, and I lived in that for 3 months. At train station and parking lots. And I was a real boondocker. I had a refrigerator, which we have today, that plugs into your 110. I had solar on the roof that would keep my refrigerator running all day. I had a power pack at night so I could charge my phone. And I did that for 3 months. Well, the other point was that I worked Monday through Friday, and every other week I had to work Saturday, and I got Friday off. Monday off, Friday off, Friday off.
Friday's off. Yeah,
Friday
you come
off.
out Thursday night.
So that's what I would do. Every 2 weeks, I would come out on Thursday night, get there late on Thursday night, about 10 or 11, be there all day Friday, all day Saturday, and then Sunday morning I got up early because traffic coming back from Las Vegas, you got to get up early, so I'd get up about 7 and I'd head on back to California to work. Well, we did that for 8 months, and we've lost a lot of friends, deaths and stuff from just being old. So at that point we decided it wasn't worth it anymore. So I retired. Any comments?
A lot of people have fibromyalgia, and our prayers are with all of you. So
we'll go look at
the pancakes.
So if you're coming to the Full Throttle, or I keep wanting to say Full Throttle because Full Throttle is what brought us out here originally. So I'm always with the Full Throttle. We spent all of our time when we first started doing this at the Full Throttle. So this is the buffalo chip, and I'm getting better with it. But this is the church that they have, and they have pancakes every morning. They just ask for a donation. So it's kind of neat, and then all day long they have lemonade and Tang and coffee that you can come in here at any time and get that. So it's really neat. It's right over here when the front gate. It's actually, there's a fence over here that's got golf carts, which I don't know how long there'll be golf carts in there. So that's all in there, and it's right behind that. So it's really easy to get. You see all the picnic tables, and we'll turn the camera a little bit more so you can kind of see what's going on. People are starting to show up. When we got here earlier, it was mainly just the employees were here. So get that down a little bit to see you. We didn't mean to dump on you today, but just wanted to know where we were at. So that's what our channel's all about.
So we're not spoiled brats.
Yeah. So we struggle with what we do. We have money, still have a little bit of money still left in our 401s. We cashed a lot of our 401 money in, and that's what paid off my truck, my motorcycle. We still own the trailer. We're going to probably pay that off real soon, which is a lot of money. We still owe about 40 grand on that trailer and making a $500 a month payment on the little bit of money we have coming in. So we also, the truck's paid for, motorcycle's paid for, the house is not. We're insane. We just are, today or tomorrow, we're going to be buying a 1 acre lot in Arizona. It's right outside, it's I don't know, half a mile, maybe a mile from my house that we have now in Arizona, that is outside of the city limits. It's in the county, and you can do any damn thing you want. We might even build a pad there to where you guys can stop by and
We'll do a Boondockers welcome, and you
yep,
guys can come
out
out and stay
and
with
visit us if you're traveling through, because it's hotter than hell out there, so a lot more likely in the winter. But I mean, if we're at the rally, I don't know what we'll do, but maybe we'll put a combination lock on it. But we're going to build a 50 by 60 steel building. You got to build steel out there. They won't let you build wood. Probably the one with the wood is because it gets so dry. I've had my bar out in my bar. If you guys seen the video of my bar,
it's kind of warped.
And I've had that bar for 20 years now, and so people think, wow, they got all that nice stuff. Well, it's 20 years old. If you look at it, it's made out of particle board, and it's really falling apart now. I'm going to end up probably building a new one, but don't know. But we're building this garage. Two things. We have a boat, which I'm going to probably sell. My daughter was acting like they wanted to finish paying the boat off, but we haven't seen any money yet, so I'd rather sell the stupid thing. I bought it because we're right on the river.
We're home.
Yeah.
It's nice when we're home.
And it's a pontoon boat. It's an old 2004. It's got a V8 on it. Nice boat. Starting to have the upholstery starting to go on. It was all original when we got it. The whole boat's only got 350 hours on it. I'm at the point now where we just put it in the lake and or the river, Colorado River, and we just sit on the side of it, and that's it. That's good with me. I'm not into driving up and down the river anymore. Gas is too expensive. It's too expensive to maintain a boat. So I'd really like to get rid of the boat.
You know what boat means, don't you? Break out another 1,000.
So we thought, living on the river, we got to have a boat. So, because motorcycle, you don't ride a motorcycle a lot when it's 115 degrees. Like right now, yesterday it was about 118. It's a little tough going out on the motorcycle. Even at 5 o'clock in the morning, it's still around 90 degrees, but at least the sun's not beating down on you.
Well, we'll go to Kingman because it's cooler over there and have breakfast and stuff. Oh, another super chat. Thank you.
Somebody listen to my poor sob story.
No, don't do it because I can't see the name. I can't see it.
Well, look at yours.
Florida Cracker, 321. See, I'm dyslexic too. I got all kinds of
See, he
issues.
might be one that wants us because I didn't tell you the challenge. So we were going to build this garage. I'll finish the story because I'm really bad about getting off the beaten path if something else comes up. My brain goes really, really fast, and it's always thinking ahead, and I'm already thinking
Faster than his mouth.
I'm thinking about the next thing I'm going to talk about, and that's why she can't keep up, because when she does a video, she has to practice like a day or two, and then she did it like, if you go way back.
Well, he'll just blurt out something and he says, what do you think? And it's like we just went to, and we've just been to like 10 places, and it's like he throws me under the bus. I'm like,
She needs to keep up with the rhythm. What's going on? What are we talking about?
I can't keep up
So we're
with
back
your
to the
brain.
garage. What are we gonna do with the garage? We're gonna put the boat in there, and I have a lot of stuff that I bought. We were thinking about doing woodworking. We were gonna make a bunch of neat signs and stuff, like you see, like a Harley sign with you can put a bottle opener on it and pop it over off a piece of wood, like off of a pallet wood or something like that, and stain it. She was gonna do some of the stuff for me, and then we were gonna sell them at flea markets. We thought, hey, that way we could make extra money, and then we could do stuff with traveling, because that's what we originally wanted to do. America is beautiful. You don't need to go now. Nothing wrong with the guys that are overseas, and I'm not a big guy. There is so much freaking crap to see here in America. It's ridiculous. And we're even on the west coast now. There's so much stuff. We wanted to do this last year before the virus came. We were going to ride up the coast, which I've done it already, through the redwoods and stuff with the tree. Well, we want to go farther now. We want to go into Oregon and Washington State. Well, hopefully things will settle down and the world will get back to normal someday, and maybe we'll do that. But I mean, we want to do it. Well, she can't do it. A ride all the way down Route 66. And I'm trying to get my other buddy, Art, to do it before something happens to him. My other buddy from 3rd grade passed away a month ago. Once again, why you shouldn't wait so long. Money is not everything. Yes, you got to have money to survive, but just like in our case, we spent a lot of our 401 money to pay stuff off so we could be able to have a comfortable life, to where, the work could go to crap in a handbag again next week, just like it did last year. And we don't have to worry about it. We've got enough money coming in that we can sit home and pay our bills and not do
And
anything.
be very comfortable.
Yeah, and we could survive. We don't have to go out and do a lot of stuff. Now, we don't go and see concerts, and we do see a few concerts now and then, but not as rare, not
as much as we used to.
yeah, because we don't have that much money coming in anymore. And so now we're starting to get some of the, like here, we've been offered at 3 campgrounds for next year that they would put us up if we would cover their campground more. So that's a possibility. I like Sturgis. That's probably my number one, which is where I started. No matter what anybody says, Sturgis is the biggest and the best rally, and we'll get into that after the rally. After all the rally season's over, we're going to tell you the goods and the bads about all the rallies. And they're all different. But this is the
Good and bad
granddaddy.
about all of them.
This is the granddaddy of rallies. Why? Because you got the best riding, and I can go on and on and on. But that's the first thing. Florida doesn't have good riding. Yeah, you can go down to the Keys, or you can ride up the coast a little bit. Because most of the time you can't ride up the coast because there's people who own the property, which is another, we'll get in that later. Back to the garage. So we bought the
See?
garage. Yeah, I didn't forget though. Normally I just go up and I never remember to come back. So the garage, one of the things we're working on right now, and is there, we had downtime this year, and my channel, our channel, really hurt because a lot of you only want to listen to motorcycle stuff and you could care less about anything else that we're talking about. So this case, that's what we wanted to do, was we want to give away a motorcycle. So we're working right now with Black Hills Harley is our first stop right now to get a beat up motorcycle. Either the motor's blown or it's knocking or whatever. Some junk trading. They get a lot of junk in trade. They take anything up there and trade. So we're hoping we can get it for free. But we want to get a motorcycle, something small, 1200 Sportster. I don't want an 83. 1200 Sportster or Heritage or something like that.
Soft tail.
Yeah, something's not too fancy, not too stuff. Well, we've gotten Ciro has contacted us and wants to give me a lot of stuff to try out. Well, bad thing about that is people don't realize you got to pay taxes on that. They're going to give it to you at the list price, and they're going to charge you. So they're going to send you a 1099 at the end of the year. A lot of people don't know that. Surprise, other YouTubers, nothing's for free. Uncle Sam wants his money. So we've had businesses and we understand that. So I'm okay with that. So what I want to do is take this motorcycle, and we're talked to Speeds yesterday, Speeds Performance Plus, and I think I've got him talked into working on the motor. Not going to make it all souped up, but just make it in good condition. You know,
Yeah, so when you give it to somebody,
it's going to last.
It's drivable.
Yeah, it's going to last. And I can do a lot of other stuff. I can put the mufflers on and do a bunch of neat stuff to it and do all the accessories and all that. We thought maybe get Dan Kite, which we haven't told him yet, to do some fancy
If you're
pinstripes.
watching Dan and Gina.
Thanks. Which I know he will. He won't hesitate. And so what we want to do is get this bike, and by 2022, it would be done by the time rally came. We would then take it to a veterans organization, which we don't want to say the name of it right now because we're going to talk to them tomorrow, and give it to them. But they have to auction it, they have to raffle it off for a full year. We want it given away in 2023. Why? Because that gives me time to talk about it. We can promote the people that gave out free parts on it. Everybody can get some free advertising for it. And the reason I give it to the vets organization, because it's 100% write-off. So they send me those 1099 forms.
Yeah, maybe one of our vets will get it.
And we can put it on the other one. And plus the vets will make a lot of money off of it.
Yeah,
Hopefully they'll get $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, hopefully.
That would be nice.
That would be nice to do that. So that's something we want to give back to our veterans and help them out. And in two, we can do both. One, it'll probably help our channel because I see some other channels out here that do a little bit of repairs and do accessories and stuff. And they've got a few more viewers than we have. We want to be different from everybody else, but I want to add a few things to our channel. There's a lot of these guys come up here on YouTube and they just talk to you. They tell you, hey, here's what's going on. Here's what happened. Here's da 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 da. Well, we'd rather take you out and show you all this stuff. Show you what's going on downtown. Show you what the Chamber of Commerce has to say. Show you what the Chief of Police has to say. We try to get you the really good information. I could sit here and rattle on all day long and make stuff up. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. But if you get somebody, an authority person telling us something here on our channel, you can kind of believe that. And then same thing, a lot of people say, maybe you guys got to get sponsors. Well, here's about sponsors.
Big on sponsors.
Well, here's what it is. It's all about corporate money. It's all about making them look good. Okay? So we're here. Let's say the Buffalo Chip says, hey, Bob and Tam, we want to give you $25,000 so you can exclusively record on our campground. Okay, let's say something really bad happens here and we report it. You think he's going to be happy about that? No. Same reason why there's a few guys out here, bigger YouTubers than us, that have lost their contracts with with Harley Davidson because they didn't do and act and say what they wanted. Well, I don't want to do that. If their crap sucks, it sucks. Who cares? She does. You don't want me to say it, but screw them. But I mean, so that's what we want. We want to only be loyal to you, just like the people that we have for vendors that we recommend. You know, we'll go down here in a little while when they open up, show you all the vendors that are here on the property. But we're not recommending any of them. Well, we'll have to see who they are. But probably not recommending any of them because they're nobody we know. We don't understand them or anything else. But the vendors that we recommend are all people that we've talked to. We see their customers.
All people we've dealt with.
Well, not all we've dealt with. Well, fairing exchange, we never bought a fairing. So there's a lot of people that we've never bought anything. But yes, Speed Performance Plus, I've been dealing with them for 20 years. Done great service. They warranted a part for me that they didn't even sell. So that's what sold me on them. Chubby Cups, Cal over there, same thing. Great guy, and he's always been helpful. And when I went with him, when I first changed bikes, he sold me a $5 bracket. He installed it himself, so I didn't have to buy a new cup holder. Where if I would have went someplace else, they would have charged me another $50. I'm like, oh, you gotta have that. Well, he doesn't. He knows all that
They'll
stuff.
sell you the whole 9 yards again instead of just selling you the little piece,
so
the adapter.
That's why we've always liked Cal. I've been dealing with him, same thing, 20 years. They used to come out to Laughlin River Run, which is no longer ever going to happen again. Larry's trying to get something else going on, but they'll never be in the Laughlin River Run again.
Very tough.
Another story. But so we have people, then we talk to other people, like the Fairing Exchange or like Ciro. Ciro I really like just for the fact that it's all the guys that are the board members there, they all ride bikes. That's one of the reasons we'll probably, which I asked all you guys a while back about getting parts.
Give us thumbs up.
Parts to put on my bike and different things like that. I mean, I don't want to need a lot of stuff. I might put those fancier taillights on the back of my bike. I don't know if I'll do anything else. Headlights burn out a lot, so I may change my headlights or something. But other than that, I'm not really looking. I don't really need to do a bunch of stuff to my bike. I'm okay with that. So I'd rather put it on something like this and give it away and maybe it help the vets organization and maybe a vet will win it. That'd be neat. Yep. And we want to be involved with all that, so that's kind of neat.
Want to be there when they
and that's
draw
what
the
that
lucky
garage
winner.
was all about, to where I'd have a place to be able to do all this stuff. And when we're slow and there's nothing going on, or if the pandemic comes up again, they lock us down, we'd have something at least you guys could be watching our videos and living through us that life is still going on, and which a lot of people have.
Somebody asked if we saw the slushy machines at the Jack Daniels tent, Jack Daniels Indians.
Yes.
No, where else we saw them too.
No, but if they want to know, because I think they give them away free or almost for nothing.
I don't know.
But the girl asked the other day, and the trailer's there, so we're assuming it's going to be
it says
there.
Jack and Coke on the side.
So
of
I'm
it.
assuming it's the same one. Full Throttle, that's what she said. The video is coming up today. You'll see some there.
If you go to
No, just wait till they watch the video. Watch the video.
Right.
I'll give away all my secrets. Only I can give away my secrets because I worked on them.
I don't know.
So that's what they say. They always say, she remembers all this stuff. What do you do? Well, I do all the videoing and I do all the editing. And I do all the computer issue problems and all that. And I pay because we have to pay for our own music. And, we don't want to rattle on all this. And if the channel would keep growing and people keep watching and things like that, everything will work really good and we'll all be all right. And we can continue to doing what we're doing. And we know, based on my channel here, we have to be covering motorcycle rallies all the time or nobody watches us. Now, I'm not saying nobody, because we have about 1,500 loyal subscribers now that watch no matter what I put up. They watch it. And we appreciate that, because that keeps us at least alive and that the channel's breathing. And because we, show me another YouTuber that's been here for the last, what have we been here now, 3 weeks? That put a video up every single day for the last 3 weeks. And there's a couple new ones, and we're going to put
all for you guys.
That's right. And we got some YouTubers that are here that we have not met yet, and we'll bring some of them on our channel here in the next few days before it gets too busy, and check up with them. And we'll probably run into Adam Sandoval. We know him, and we've helped him out at his campground and stuff. And he kind of been the guy when he was doing his riding across the country and all that stuff for charity for veterans. That kind of is what made us start thinking about a YouTube channel. And then also we had some RV people that we watched too that we thought we'd do. And so that's kind of the reason we thought about doing YouTube. And also I have to have something to do, because I would drive her crazy if I
See how his mind goes? His whole body does that. He's like bing, 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 bing. I can't keep up. I said, I'll be sitting over here when you're all done. Come get me.
So, yeah. So we kind of did plan. It's like here, people say, well, what are you going to do tomorrow? What are you going to do the next day? I don't know. I don't know yet now after this what we're going to do. We're going to go back in town because there's a couple vendors that are showing up that we're trying to catch up with. One guy from Daytona that we talked about the other day, and we thought he'd be in here now. The silencer exchange, the
silencer. I don't know.
Central Silencers. Silencer Central.
I don't know.
And one of those names.
Yeah.
Well, we met them last year here. They're over at the Full Throttle, but they're not open yet. And then they had the one down
That
by.
one down in here, wasn't it? In the amphitheater?
No, that was over at Full Throttle.
Oh.
They had that big.
Oh, that's right.
I don't know if they're going to be here yet or not. I didn't see them on the sheet. They might have moved from here over to Full Throttle.
Okay.
But that's a really neat place. And the only reason we cover that, it's got nothing to do with motorcycle, but it's got to do with guns. And you two will probably get me for saying the word guns. Bang bangs. And they're in charge of that. And it's just something neat.
We have to say Terrific Tuesday from now on, too.
Yeah, we can't use that word top and that other word that comes along and says less in the same sentence because YouTube don't like it. They don't even like us to say one sexy
You already said it.
biker chick. They don't like me saying that either. I guess they think it's, I don't know. I don't know what they think it is.
Somebody else know how much for tent camping. Where at?
Well,
Yeah.
here, you just buy the bracelet. Whatever the bracelet costs you, that's what it costs for your tent camping. You need a bracelet for everybody that's here. If you're by yourself, if you'd have bought it right away, it was only, I don't know, $150, $200. We bought ours in September 1st last year.
I don't know.
I don't remember what they were. I have to go back and look.
I know they kept saying they were raising it.
The whole thing here, we paid $1,450 on September 1st. We got 50 amp, so we can run both of our air conditioners. We got water. We got a halfway decent side. It's pretty big for us.
Yeah.
And we don't have any slides. And we got early arrival, which would have been Monday. We would have been able to come in. And we were here to the end. And that included everything, $1,450. Well, I just talked to somebody yesterday, Pappy Hoyle. Now, they got sewer, and they paid $1,560. So, I don't know. The Pappy Hoyle's pretty neat, but I mean, they got a swimming pool.
Yeah.
But I mean, a lot of times when we go places like this and there's a
Don't
lot
have
of people
time.
getting in the pool, sometimes you don't want to get in the pool.
Well, that and we don't have the time.
Well, that too. But I mean, here they got all this stuff. Oh yeah, you
What
got stuff.
I like is a hot tub. That makes me feel good.
Yeah. So most every place we camped at, they didn't work. They haven't
No.
turned off, or I guess,
So the Pasta Corral is off Bannocker Road. If you're on Junction in Sturgis, you go under the 90, you go 12 miles out. It's on the right-hand side. It's called Pasta
it's
Corral.
12 miles.
I said 12 miles out, I think.
Oh, you
didn't I?
said 8
12 miles out.
on the right hand side. Best pasta you ever ate. They
Oh,
love us
Pasta
out there.
Corral.
You watch the video, they're yelling when we got there.
We pull up and they're like, "There's Mama Sam." I'm like, "Oh my gosh!"
Uh,
But they're great people.
That's right. And good food. And actually, that's where we're going to stop again tomorrow for our
Our lunch.
lunch. And we're going to be there
Sure.
back on Saturday because it's going to be Indian Day.
Yep.
Not wow Indian motorcycles. They do
You're gonna get in trouble for
They're
saying that
doing
too now.
no, because our Indians in Arizona want to be. Somebody asked me that a while ago, but it ended up being it was the Indian dealer was talking about Native Americans.
guy.
Because our Indians in Arizona call themselves Indians, and if you go over there, they'll tell you it's an Indian powwow, it's Indian bread, it's Indian. Everything they say they're Indian.
Fried Indian bread, yeah.
So everything they say on all their booths, they say we're Indians. They didn't say nothing about Native Americans. I guess if you had to say, hey, you Native Americans, they're like, where, who?
We came up the other day and somebody's like, "Look, there's movie stars," and we're like, "Where?"
They were talking about us.
We're not movie stars, no.
We're far from that.
So Ralph, that's the guy with the bulldog on the back.
Oh yeah, we've seen him again.
I told him I forgot to give you a sticker, and he says that Glencoe's easy, no Buffalo Chip long lines for searches. But there is a long line. We tried to get in there.
Well, Friday of last
Last year, the
which
day the
was,
rally started.
Yeah, we tried to get in there, and they didn't have.
Indian
They
tacos.
should have had a window for people that are walking up. Buying pass stuff, but no,
Just a day pass.
you have to get your camping pass, and it was taking. We probably stood in line 45 minutes, and they waited on one person.
It was
They had
crazy.
2 windows going, and it was like, no, they ain't nothing in that good that I ain't seen before somewhere else. There ain't much we ain't seen.
204 people. Don't
Thank
forget to
you,
give us a
thank you,
thumbs up,
thank you.
please.
So hopefully you didn't get bored
YouTube
with all
looks
of
at
our long sobby story this morning.
Yes,
But we just wanted to kind of let everybody know where we're at and where we're coming from, and that we're not privileged people, and we're like everybody else. America is exactly what they said. If you're a Trump supporter or not, if you looked at what he said, that you could be somebody, you could be anybody, just like here. I've met a lot of immigrants by living in California that came here to America looking for that dream. They came and they got a job and they got their citizenship and they're proud to be American. We got a guy over here from Australia, that bus guy. He invited us over to come party with him, and we probably will. I like to talk to people from Australia. They sound really neat.
Yep.
And so we're probably gonna go over and check him out and check out his party zone. Like looking to see the bracelet.
Yeah, they wanted to see what the bracelet. It's kind of hard
And
to show.
Full Throttle actually has the same cloth. What they are is their cloth. What I don't like is
It has a dingleberry.
yeah. And so when you're
Put your
trying
hand
to
up.
so when you're
There.
trying to eat with it, it gets in your because I'm right-handed, and they want it on right hands because when you come through to be checked, you have to take your hand off the throttle, and that forces you to slow the bike down. They've had too many people that they only got little plastic chains up. And they've had people run through there and bust the chains down. They yelled at me the other day, slow down. Dude, I'm not gonna run you over.
The Ralph says he's got his dog saying pating.
Okay, there we go.
Ratfink, or is it
Ratfink.
Ratfink? He keeps saying pating.
He's from Florida.
Yep.
He needs to get us a whole lot of subscribers. So we see I didn't get to that either. We got that challenge out there that if we hit 25,000 subscribers, and we're doing really well. We've gotten about 1,500 subscribers in the last 3 weeks. So we're
So
great.
thank you all.
And
Thank
but
you,
if we
thank you.
make it
We do
to
appreciate all of you.
25,000 subscribers by not this Sunday, next Sunday, which is a lot to get done in that time, that we will go and do the Florida rallies in the fall, and we will also make it to Laconia next year. If not, there'll be an edit next year. We're going to be dumping some of the rallies that we did this year. So
Some of
last
the
year
little ones.
we did do the fall rallies because we wanted to see what was going on. But definitely the spring rallies is the big ones. I think the fall rally is more of a local thing, you know, people from Georgia and Alabama and probably things like that, but probably don't see the New Yorkers coming in and Maine and all that comes through for the main Daytona. And that's what's funny about the rallies, which we won't get real into the rallies right now. We're going to make another video on that and talk about rallies. And that'll be coming up. Got a bunch of neat stuff that's going to be coming up on Patreon. Some of it is going to be adult approved. And they got some wild things going to be going on here. And so we're going to be putting some of that on our Patreon, the $25 one though, to see the good stuff. And once
Well, that way we don't get dinged.
yeah, we
dinged
don't get
for it
dinged for
either.
it, yeah.
Because you can't show a lot of that on YouTube.
So we're going to see a Patreon. We've talked to other couple of YouTubers that said Patreon will allow you to put a lot of stuff on. You know, we're not going to show any horrorcore stuff, just the girls flashing.
Having a good time.
And that guy waved to us. I don't know if he's a subscriber or not.
Which one?
The guy with the hat and the beard.
Oh, I
just
don't
walked
know.
away. He just kind of waved when he walked away.
Oh.
I don't think there's anybody behind us. Nope. I guess he had to be waving to us. See, we don't know. But it's been, don't feel bad to come up and talk to us.
Yeah, because we like to meet all you guys.
Even if we're talking to somebody, the odds are whoever we're talking to is another fan. So don't feel bad to come up and talk to us. Yesterday was like that. One couple's like, we don't want to bother you. We just want to say hi. And we're like, no, that's all right. No, you guys, that's the one that said, you guys are big movie stars. No, we're not. We're just ordinary. But I guess some real movie stars, Clint Eastwood and stuff, I guess they were just normal people too at one time.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think we'll ever be a Clint Eastwood. Or anybody even on TV probably. Maybe we're better than the Housewives or the, what's those people up there? Jersey.
Kardashians.
Yeah.
Keeping up with the
Yeah.
Kardashians.
We don't have their money, but.
I might have their butt.
What? She's gonna admit she got a big butt. Got a big booty.
got some junk in my trunk.
So we got a lot, and cutting the t-shirts up that you guys all like. That video's really been going really good. We're gonna have more of that because we're his friend Dave, right?
No, Willie.
No, the guy cut shirts.
Willie.
I thought his name was Dave. The guy that cut shirts with the top
Yes,
hat.
with the top hat.
It's
The guy
Willie.
that cut my shirt. Yes, Willie.
I thought his name was Dave. That's why she's around.
See? We balance each other out.
That's what somebody said. Somebody said what I should be doing is get me a big old long trench coat and behind her acting like I'm flashing while she's talking. I don't know. That's getting to be a little more than I want to get involved with here. But
It's buttocks on YouTube.
Oh,
I can't
okay.
say butt.
That's right. Buttocks.
That's one of my favorite songs. I like big butts, and I cannot.
You got like
lie.
big buttocks.
You other butt-
That guy's got one of them 360 cameras stuck to the front of his bike. That sticking way out. Hope we don't get too close to a truck. You're gonna break it off. I don't know. Those 360 cameras are kind of neat, but
Not to use all the time.
Do you really want to see that thing all the time? You know, it's kind of like the drone. Here you can't fly a drone. They're gonna give us some footage. I mean, it's been so freaking windy out here, and we got that little mini drone, and I'm just afraid it's gonna blow away. And we haven't really had a good. Well, one morning we had a calm day, and we were gonna cover the flags, and I didn't. Should have stopped, but we had something else we were going to. So we.
Yeah, I don't think you had the flag with you then either. So
The
yes,
drone.
the drone,
Not a
whatever.
flag.
The professional monkey is right next to that schoolie. Somebody said they thought he was. So
Yeah, we watched
Are
this
you
video.
out here, John? I don't know.
Oh, you can also get free Bibles here if you'd like to do a little reading while you're here. You're bored. Right here, you get. I'm reading the sign. It says free pancakes, coffee, Bibles, Bikers are free breakfast and beverages. They ask for a donation, and you should give them some money.
Yeah. I mean,
And
it costs
a lot of the people working out here are from different churches, and they're making money.
Very
Some
happy.
of them are actually making money for that organization. It's kind of like downtown in Sturgis. You know, when they put the thing you can climb up, the staircase you can climb up, the what do they call those things?
The towers?
Yeah, I guess that's what it is. The towers that you can walk up. They're only going to have one this year, and it's going to be down at Junctions End. And all the people that are running that and charging it $5 to go up it is all an organization. A lot of them are churches, and I forget. You watched the one with Dan the other day, the business manager guy.
Dan Ainsley.
He told you all the different churches and organizations, and not just all churches, but they're making all that money themselves. The city's not getting nothing for it. So I don't think the city's being greedy by charging you.
Somebody asked the best place for breakfast. Somebody asked that the other day too.
What is the best place?
Yeah.
Well, actually, the best place is the Legends Restaurant out in Deadwood.
It's not
Well, it
cheap.
was.
It was. It was very good.
The best.
The bacon, the eggs, everything.
You go
got
in and you make a
pancakes.
right and go
The
downstairs.
pancakes were like, and then they say they've got French toast to die for.
We didn't get that.
But somebody else at the table next to us did, and they were just going on and on about it. It's
So
very
that
good.
is the best. Second best is Louis.
Uncle Louis.
Uncle Louis is good. For price,
And
Uncle
the
Louis is
amount of
number one.
food you get,
Yeah,
Uncle Louis.
Yep, for price, and yes, that definitely is the best. But because it did cost more, we split a meal, and we still spent $30 at the Legends. We go to Uncle Louis, and we can split a meal, and we're about $12.
Yeah. But Uncle Louis doesn't have iced tea.
No, and they head out at the Legends.
Yeah, they did.
No, they didn't. You made my iced tea.
I did. Well, we saw how much the prices were, so we
Yeah, it was
got
like
water.
$5 for a soda.
So we thought, we'll just drink
She
water.
brought instant ice
It's
cold tea
cool
bag.
brew, cool brew. Because there's nobody out here that makes really
Well,
good
there's
iced
some.
tea.
Well, Hardee's does. And
there's a Hardee's in Sturgis.
And what do we eat the other day? I had the mason jars. Oh, that red.
Oh, red dog door, red something. It's on Junction and where
We talked about it. We didn't go inside and do a review. We talked about it. It was pretty good food. It was all right. We didn't ask anybody there to talk to us. We only went there one time because we went there last year and it sucked. It was really bad. Well, we heard there's a new owner there, so maybe we'll go again. And if it's really good, maybe we'll talk to somebody there. But so that's what we do. We look at things just like yesterday. I got a tire put on.
Thanks, Alan.
And the problem with putting the tire on is the story with that is actually going to come out in today's video. So we didn't talk about price, and we will now. So we went down to JP Cycles and wanted to see how much tire was because everybody said JP Cycles had the best price. So my tire was $172.
183.
Okay, plus tax. And it's on sale. It was regularly
$70 to install it.
Yes. So, but they don't open till today. Well, they only had 2 left. First come, first serve. Well, we already had this planned out. So a little hard to be down there right away. Well, then there's also guys buying tires and carrying them out. And I really needed a front tire. If I didn't buy it here, I would have to buy it at the dealer. The dealer's not giving you no brakes. I didn't say that. But that's the way Hardy dealers are. They spend a lot of money for the franchise, and they don't give a lot of discounts. If you want to become a hog member there, they probably give you 10% off of stuff. But other than that, they're not big for... And I didn't ask for a discount. They didn't offer, so we went to JP Cycles. They gave us price on the tire. So we decided we would go down the street to the Nick's shop. So we stopped in there, and they said, nope, we're all out. But we charge $100 an hour to here in the shop, and it'd take about 30 minutes to change the tire. So she said, okay, so it would be around $50, which they were going to charge $70 at J&P Cycles. So then I decided we'll go down to the Nick's tire shop because there's another one down the road there. So we went down there, and there's like 2 guys in front of me, and a guy at the counter. And I'm standing there. Well, she's talking to this girl, which we didn't send the picture to me, I don't think, of that girl.
Oh,
nice girl.
it was on this camera.
She's going to be a thumbnail. And just a regular person. She's a biker rider. I don't think
She's actually a veteran. When
is she?
we
Yeah,
left, she had
that's
veteran
right.
on the back of her, and I said,
So
hey,
she was
thanks.
yakking to her. Well, I went up and I stood in counter, and I'm waiting. And there's 2 people in front of me, and they're just standing there, and I'm waiting. And I kind of go over to the tires. I'm just kind of seeing, do they even have the stupid tire? Or am I just wasting my time standing here? Well, and of course, nobody will even talk to you. This guy's like the service rider, and he's doing all that, and I'm waiting. Well, this guy just bought a tire and an oil change, and he hadn't got it done yet. Just writing the paperwork up. Probably took 15 minutes for this guy. He needs to get some help. So finally I turned around and said, screw it. I'll just go down there and buy the freaking tire down there, and I'll just pay the money there. Even if this guy was $50 less, I ain't got my time's more valuable than that. So when I get back to the bike, I'm like, well, who was that girl? She goes, oh, they had to come back. They just had their tire mounted by this guy and drove down the road at 20 miles an hour and like that. And the camera probably is exactly what they were doing. And I said, holy crap, we don't want that guy changing our tire.
It's a good thing I didn't even wait to ask.
So
Oh my gosh.
off we went back to JP Cycles. We bought our tire, took it over there. Well, then the other bad news was I got ready to go pay the bill, and it was $108. And I'm like, are you sure? Is that the right price? Seemed like we were quoted less than that. I didn't remember exactly what she said. Thought it was $50, but I wasn't quite sure, and I wasn't going to argue with the girl. So then I walked back, and I told her, I said, well, they must have a minimum. You sure you didn't hear a minimum of $100? And she goes, no. So the other guy that put our tire on, he says, is there a problem with the price? And I said, well, she came up and talked to the girl in the gray shirt when we first came up.
Brittany.
And said it would only be, they charge $100 an hour, and
It should only take 30 minutes
front
to put it
tire
on.
for a front tire take 30 minutes.
And she said, unless they have some funky weird thing going on and it takes longer, so it'd be $50. And I said, okay, that's cheaper than JP
and
Cycles.
so the guy turned around and said, no, minimum is $100 to install a tire. Well, it is what it is. So I paid it. Actually, I helped him out when I was there because the other guy lost the pin to the back of the motorcycle where you lock in the spindle on the rear. It has that little cotter key, and it's got the little flap that goes over to holds it in place.
When he went to take it off, it
It-
flew.
I found it after about an hour of them looking for it. So I'm like,
And
there
then
it is.
the other guy was
Oh,
doing
yeah.
oil change.
And she's like, didn't that guy just put oil in that
Didn't
bike?
that guy just drain the oil?
And
'Cause
so
he-
it's running,
It's
and
like
oil's
pouring
pouring out of
out.
the bike. So I run over there, and there's nobody. They're all on the other side of the tent. I turn it off real quick, and I go over there, and I said, you got oil leaking out of that bike. I already shut it off. And it was a 110 engine, and it was an expensive bike. No damage happened. It was still pumping oil out when I turned it off. So
And it was
it was
pouring out pretty good.
Yes. So they heard a bunch of rags. They couldn't let it touch the asphalt and all that. And I don't know what they did. We didn't stay around to watch what happened. The filter was loose. The gasket was still on. I don't know. Not my problem. Not my deal. But there's
They
two.
want to know what shop this is.
If you watch the video, you probably can see where we're at. I don't want to
Very
badmouth
nice
them.
people,
Because it
and
was.
they were
the guy,
good.
the people were very nice. The girls let her sit in their chairs while we were there. I actually sat in one of their chairs too while they were doing it. They were very friendly, very nice. But I don't know.
Is this, are you doing this?
Yeah, I
How
don't
many
care.
minutes are we on?
I don't know. An hour and 25 it looks like. So we can still go a little bit longer. See, she's already having trouble sitting. She'll have to do a little dance. See,
Yeah.
that's the other thing. What's the one thing you love to do that you can't do
Don't
anymore?
talk about that.
She can't dance. She loves to dance. She gets a lot of compliments. People think she's a stripper because she can shake it so well. But this,
Yeah,
my brother-in-law
dancing.
Larry, which I don't know if he's watching or not. Well, we went to a New Year's Eve party years ago, probably 25 years ago, and he goes, "Wow, damn, really knows how to shake. How'd she learn to dance like that?" Well, she dances like a stripper. She used to be.
I did not used to be a stripper.
No, she wasn't a stripper. She danced like one. She could shake it. She never could pole dance. She never could figure that out. Yeah, but we never did buy a pole for her to try out. But she has tried a couple times, but no success.
No.
She can't
I
get
like
little-
to dance. That's one of my favorite things. I've danced since I was little. When my kids took dance lessons, I took dance lessons.
So
as
that's
an
the
adult.
problem now. If she gets up, well, actually, she learned that new dance. What's that stupid song?
Fancy, like it fancy, or
Yeah, fancy like.
fancy.
She
like.
can do that because there's not a lot of moving around, and so she learned that the other day. So maybe if they're doing it out here, and a bunch of you ladies are out here, or guys that want to do that dance at one of the venues here, like a beach party or whatever, Tam will get up. And what we used to do is we used to own a entertainment company. We had DJs, we did wedding decorations, we did
Videos.
videography. That's what kind of got me into doing this. And we did all kinds of parties. I've done sound for artists, country artists. And we've done adult parties, we've done little kids parties, we've done all kinds of events. I had 18 employees, and it was a good business, a lot of fun. Did that back in St. Louis when we were back there. Actually, you can look us up. That's why you hear us every once in a while say Total Entertainment. That was the name of our business. You can Google that, and it'll show up in Washington, Missouri. It's still there, but it's not.
So it did rain this morning, a little bit last night.
Yes.
Sprinkled.
Almost
Wasn't
in-
heavy.
I got soaked driving the golf cart up here today because all that rain come off the side on me.
No, I felt when I drove it the other morning up to the bathroom. But yeah, it sprinkled. It wasn't a heavy rain, just enough to get everything wet. It was cloudy, overcast this morning. Somebody asked if it was smoky, and it's like, no, it was just overcast.
Still smoky though.
It is a little bit,
It's
yeah.
the mountains over here. Can you see Bear Butte behind it? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you can see Bear Butte.
Bear Butte back here, right here, Bear Butte. It should be clearer than that. So we still do have a little bit of smoke out here, but it's nothing like it was the other day, last week. Thought he was gonna die out
No,
here.
can't smell the smoke.
No, we haven't been
I
able.
got a bad
We've only
smeller.
smelled the smoke 2 days here, 3 days. First day we got here, we were someplace, and for a second we got a whiff of smell.
A sniff of smell.
Whiff of smoke. And we got that, and then we went. Oh, when we went out the other day to Montana, we could smell it there through the air
Yeah.
conditioner. No, I had the windows down because it was a cooler morning.
Yeah.
Had the windows down, and we could smell it
Rapid
then.
City was the worst.
Yeah.
Oh man, that first or second day when the
Yeah.
wind changed.
When we went out there, when we went out there for the to do when.
Must have been Friday
Yeah, it was
because
the day-
Chili's was open.
No, it was the day we talked to the Harley dealer, so it was Friday because
Yeah.
their opening day was Saturday. So we had the Mike, right?
Look behind you. Is there somebody behind us?
There's a truck.
Is that Gary? They said there's somebody behind us.
I don't know. Somebody on a Polaris. I don't know who it is. Let's turn around.
You got a
That
photo bomber.
Montana bunch.
Yeah.
Oh,
Did you go see Yogi and Boo Boo?
yes, we did.
You got to see a bear?
No, well, we seen a bear on the side of the road, but I first thought it was a dog, and then when after I drove by, I thought that's a bear. It was too late for the stop.
Because Ranger Smith gets paid a lot of money, so we don't see the bear.
Yeah, I know. He's from
Yeah.
Montana,
Yep.
so meet all kinds of people here.
Yep.
So
In them shoes.
we've also got something good coming up on Friday. That one should work because we're putting it on Yardstream. We're going to have Tech Talk with Speeds Performance Plus,
On Friday.
but it's going to be early in the morning, 8 o'clock. We may go longer.
So if you
Mm.
have a question and you can't make it at 8 o'clock, email us the question and we'll ask him, and then you can watch the live later and we'll answer your question. So
So-
anything about your
Yeah.
motor. I
Cycle.
got to talk.
So if that's what you want to do, so we're trying to help them get their channel going. Their channel sucks, and they're having a real tough time getting it fired up and get subscribers to go over there. So we're gonna let you talk to them, and we'll try to pump him up to get him to where he has more fun when he's talking. He's too serious when he talks.
Yeah.
And so hopefully we can help them get their channel going too. And because Speeds is great, and those guys are smart.
Well, I
And,
think he gets stressed too. They're opening, they're trying to make sure they got
Yeah.
everything, and they're putting everything up.
so
and
hopefully we're gonna get there at 8 in the morning on Friday, 8
we'll get
o'clock
him early.
Mountain Time.
Hope
This
he
will
has
be
a good night the night
yeah.
before.
And well, they're not gonna be open. Oh yeah, I don't think they're
I
open
don't
until
know.
Friday
Yeah, I guess so.
because they got
They
screwed
got
on the
there
permit.
yesterday. They set up today, and then they're
Yeah.
opening Friday.
Yeah.
So get some rest, Jamie.
So he's gonna come on and he's gonna do answer tech questions. If not, we're gonna talk about all the services that they do and anything else you guys want to talk about. And it'd be more me and him, and she'll be looking at the questions because my laptop. I think I lost my camera on my laptop. It's all screwed up, and I'm not sure if my Apple has a camera on it. I don't know. But when I gotta do thumbnails, we're gonna have to try to do a live from our trailer and see if I think the camera and the microphone. I lost Bluetooth, stupid computers that it went crazy one day, and then I rebooted it.
His
and now the-
mouse went
I-
nuts.
I got a wireless and now it won't pick up Bluetooth no more, and can't find any Bluetooth on the computer. So I don't know. That's my original computer. I haven't been using my Apple because it's more complicated and it doesn't do all the things. I don't know how to make a thumbnail. I gotta go back and let my son-in-law and daughter, they're Mac people, and show me all that. They asked the other day their mom and said, "Mom, how's your dad like his computer?" And I'm like, "He's not using
Like
it."
once or twice.
Well, I used it when I was at home because I had more time. Well, we thought we brought two computers because we thought she could do her pictures because she does the pictures, and I would do editing on my Apple, but I can't figure out how to make
That's
a
fair
thumbnail.
view.
Yeah. See the hump? The hump? Did you
That's-
hump?
that's
The
fair
humps?
view.
We're going to be talking about love
My
jokes too
lovely
soon.
lady lumps.
I get
So-
binged for that too for singing.
Oh, probably. Sorry. What time is that? Mountain time. Yeah, that's 8 o'clock Mountain time.
8 o'clock Mountain Time would be 7 o'clock Pacific Time. So it'd be Central Time be one more hour. So it'd be 9 o'clock.
Eastern
and then
time would be
10
10.
o'clock.
It's so screwed up because of Arizona. Oh, Arizona. Wire problem. Need a new mouse. Well, it's a wireless. And
No,
you
because
can't-
because I switched it to. We have another computer that we pay our bills with, and it's working fine on that. So it's not the mouse. It's
Yes,
something wrong
but
with the
that
computer.
one you plug in the computer.
No,
it's
I
not
got
a
it.
wireless
No,
mouse.
I switched it over there and made sure it worked. If you turn on that one, you can use that one now.
You can use the wireless mouse.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Because I wanted to see, was it the mouse? Because first I thought it was the battery. I put a new battery in it, and
Hop's
because
head's in the way. To see Bear Butte.
I moved.
It's right there. Right there is Bear Butte. It's
wanna-
a little fuzzy.
I want to wear it as a hat.
Did you see the live the other day? He had the horns of it.
That was at the
when he got done. We were
Buffalo
talking
Chip.
about the ladies
It was.
to send them some dark chocolate
Oh
or
yeah,
some
they
wine.
got a skull head
and
and
he
the
was
horns.
right in front. And then when he
Somebody
got
did
done-
mention it. They seen it.
And when he got done, I said, "You had horns while you were talking."
I look at me myself when we're holding the camera, so I make sure I'm in focus. But I really don't always look behind me to see. That's why people, when they do, what do they call that? Photo bombs.
Yeah.
I don't care. As long as they ain't doing nothing stupid. But what's usually funny is you always tell them this was on YouTube, and they're like, "Oh, I didn't want to be on YouTube."
And
Congratulations.
I lost my live chat. There we go.
All
All
right.
right.
So it's pretty neat out here. Temperature's not too bad today. It feels a little muggy. I think it was like 74%. Dew point was like 60 when I looked this morning. Woke up to rain. It was thundering last night. Had some lightning over there. On the other side, over that way, the hills. There's a lot of rain on that side of the hills. We see that. That's going towards Rapid City. And so they get probably a lot more rain than we've been getting here lately. But I mean, it wasn't a lot of rain. It's not muddy.
Just pray for no rain tomorrow. That's
Yeah.
our ride.
And but make sure you got your rain gear.
Yeah.
When you come out here, up another super
super
chat.
Randy Sites. Thank you, thank you. Hoping to see you both when wife and I arrive Sunday.
Yeah.
Where are you going to be staying at, Randy?
And we're trying to do some meet and greets. How many of you would actually like to do a meet and greet?
My phone. Give my number.
Do a meet and greet, and what days are you looking at? Not a busy day, a day. Would you, a morning, an afternoon? We just talked to a bar yesterday that they tried to say somebody with 750,000 subscribers is coming in. I don't know any YouTube motorcycle people that have 750,000 subscribers. I don't know who that'd be.
I don't know.
I know Adam Sandoval's
Well,
coming.
they said that may
the Monkey
not
Guy's
be a
here.
motorcycle
Or
guy.
the Henri guy is coming, and the Badgers, and a whole bunch of people they've got coming along. But I don't think anybody's got seven. Only person I know, which is one of our subscribers, is Prime Cut Pro.
Yeah.
But he's not a motorcycle guy. But I don't think he does meet and greets.
No, he gets on the camera now, but he never used
Yeah,
to.
I think he gets on the camera because we get on the camera. And he's a great guy, and I like him, and we got to buy him a beer.
They want to meet
as soon
us
as he gets
Monday
in town.
morning at Legends for breakfast. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, definitely we'll be
They want to
there.
know if he's going to shave. No. You know how long it took him to grow that?
I used to just have a mustache,
mustache.
and then I started growing the goatee because I got this underneath. And then I don't know why I grew that. Well, she likes
I
beards.
like beards.
So,
I don't like long hair, but I like
but if
beards.
you go back on our Facebook page, we posted some pictures a while back of some, like her first bike. We got like our first ride that we did to, I just posted that the
Yeah,
other day,
yep.
the 110th anniversary,
when we were out here.
8 years ago. I wasn't clean shaved. I clean shaved when I came to California 20 years ago. I shaved everything off.
Well, no, what he did is he got his eyes done, so he didn't have any more glasses, so he shaved everything off, and he.
I look like a little kid. I look like I was 12.
You guys have a good hump day.
All right. Thank you. Ride safe.
On
And
4 wheels.
there you go.
All right.
Yeah, but you can get in trouble on 4 wheels too.
No, it's not itchy. I like it. So,
Hey, don't you ever see those shirts about the beards and ladies?
Randy-
Beards and ladies kind of go together in certain areas. I'm going around.
staying in-
I'm beating around the bush.
So,
Well, see if you like that one. See, I kind of made a pun there.
he thinks he's funny.
And we're not comedians.
No,
either.
we're not. But a lot of people laugh at
I have a
us.
lot of farmer jokes that we used to tell when I lived in
Oh,
Missouri,
let's
but
not
I
go
can't
there.
tell any of them here. Probably nowadays people would be
So Randy's
sensitive.
staying in Deadwood. That's the guy that just gave us a super chat.
Yeah. So we don't really know
I
what our
like that in 3 days.
we know
It took about 3 years.
it. I trim it about every 3 or 4 days. I usually just trim under here and get all the wild hairs out. And I used to dye it. It used to all be black, and then I quit doing that. Got tired of it. It's a pain in the ass. So we don't. What's bad about these rallies for us is we can't really make a lot of plans. So we've got Topless Tuesday. We're definitely going out there. Anybody wants to meet?
Terrific Tuesday.
Yes, Terrific Tuesday. We didn't say that word. Terrific Tuesday. We're going to be out there in Montana, and we'll be out there all day. So if you want to get out there, don't get there super early like we are. Get there a little bit later. Get there around 9 or 10 o'clock. You'll find a good place to park. And when we first start, we're going to be just out there talking to people. We're going to be we do our video shout outs. You can tell us what you ride, where you came from, if you're from outer space, or if you're from across town. I thought I had an alien last year, but I wasn't quite sure. And,
There was an alien out there, remember? She had that suit on. She had that silver suit.
See,
There
I
was
thought
an alien
I
out
thought
there.
there was an alien that we've seen.
I took a picture of her.
So we do a lot of those interviews. We don't show any. I showed a couple of the girls painted up, but I don't think I got geeked on that one. But so we do a lot of that at the beginning, and then we'll do the shooting of the show once it all starts. There's some controversy going on about that, and we will talk about that later. But we'll see how that all works out, and we'll see what.
We'll still be there.
Yes.
And we're still
So
gonna
you can
film.
come out on that day. Wednesday of that week, rally week, we're going to be at the Ham Jam. We'll probably get out the Ham Jam by 10 o'clock, probably till about 1, 2 at the latest. Then we're going to go over to Sundance. And so if you want to come out and ride with us on some of that stuff, if you want to get up really early, because we'll take on Terrific Tuesday, we're going to take the truck. Because I don't know what kind of equipment I'm going to need. I might need the big tripods. I got a big commercial tripod from when we used to do wedding videos. That used to have a giant camera on it, and it's liquid filled, so it's really smooth. And so I can't carry that on the bike.
Alzada, Montana is Terrific Tuesday.
The bar is called Stoneville Saloon.
Yeah.
So look up Stoneville Saloon. That's where Terrific Tuesday will be. And they'll have wet teas. We can talk about that part. We can say that much. And a lot more will be going on. So we can check that out. That'll be Tuesday. We'll be there pretty much all day till it's over at 5. Everybody's gone by 5. We'll head back, try to get back here by 7:30 because curfew here is 7:30.
Yeah.
You gotta be back here. Daddy, you get in trouble. But what they do is they don't want any vehicles. If you come out, probably any campground is this way. When it gets dark at night,
Be careful.
people don't pay attention here. They're not watching. I bet you they're all like this, where you got a lot of people running around at night.
And people are looking at stuff, you know, somebody screams and they're yelling and they're like, what's going on?
And they're driving their motorcycle down the street. And it's like, I'm thinking about putting floodlights on the golf cart so we could see.
Lewis.
So if you want to come out and ride with us to Hewlett, we'd probably leave here
Chip at
about 8 o'clock, probably 8 to 8:30. We'll be pulling out of here. We'll go over to Hewlett, hang around Hewlett for a few hours. Noon is when they serve the ham jam. They have the pork. So we do that. We'll eat that. We don't really listen to band. We've already done usually some interviews along there. We know a couple of people there that own the Pioneer Bar and also Bob's Gallery. 2 places you need to go. Great people.
Yeah.
And definitely go to Bob's Gallery. It's free. Ask for a donation. But he's got some neat stuff in there. And talk to the guy.
Yeah.
He is legendary. We'll leave it at that, because we don't give you all the secrets away. And so we'll go out there, hang out there for a while. Then we're going to swing back through and go through Sundance. The burnouts really don't start till 7, but actually, if it's like it's...
They do it all day.
I haven't been out there for years, but they had burnouts that lasted all day long. They just weren't organized like they are at night. I don't know if they give a prize away or something at the night one, but we can't stay that late just for the fact we had a deer last year in a car 2 years ago, I guess. And ever since then, I've been really worried about something running in front of us. And speaking of that, our friend Tony, that if you watched the One Sexy show we had the other day, that he hit a deer right out here by the high school. Luckily,
it was a little bitty deer.
no, it wasn't. It was big enough that his wheel hit that deer and broke its leg and it flew. But all he seen was the deer was in front of him and it was gone. And all he seen was the deer flying this way. The bike went down. He pulled it back up, pulled it back over, up. He finally got it up straight. He never hit the ground. I think his Judy pee-peed a little bit in her pants, but she didn't poopy in her pants. So that was good. So she said it was a rough ride there for a second. And not sure about Tony. He didn't say he did anything or not, but he said it scared the crap out of him. Well, maybe he did if he said he scared the crap out of him. So yes, be very, very, very cautious here. Look all around all the time. We had it just
and
the other day.
especially out there, because there you're out in the boonies. Here there's a little more population, but out there it's...
Yeah, because we came back from Hewlett, Hewlett. A couple years ago. We went out there extra early and we took the truck out because we wanted to meet this guy. We were doing a story on Hewlett. He had a lot of history. His grandpa actually started the Ham Jam. And so he was telling us the story. So we went out there really late. We stayed really late. It was like 8 o'clock. It was still light outside. When we drove back down, we seen over 1,000 deer. What do they call them?
Mule deer.
Mule deers. 1,000 mule deers. Never seen. And one buck jumped right in front of us. Boing, boing.
It was so graceful. It was almost like a bunny, the way he jumped.
And he looked right at us when he turned.
He like, we saw him
was
hopping
like-
and he slowed down, almost stopped. And so it jumped and then it jumped right in the road and then it just turned and looked at us
And
and then
jumped
jumped the
I
fence.
had already slowed down because I seen him on the hill. But I mean, he was like an 8-point buck. And he looked at us and he jumped again and then he jumped over the fence. And it was like, wow, I had no idea those things were so graceful like that.
It was
And,
neat. It was neat to
Come to
watch.
see. I always seen wild turkeys yesterday.
Don't pet the bison.
Well, you seen wild turkeys?
Oh yeah, we did.
A whole bunch of them. They were right there at the end of Von Knocker Road. We were coming back from the pasta corral,
Yep.
and she just seen the black birds, but it was a whole family of turkeys. They had
Yeah,
like
it's
8
some
babies.
little ones. Yeah.
They weren't little bitty. They were about
I know.
about that tall. They were average size.
But
So they were all out there standing right next to the road. I was gonna turn around, but I figured by the time we turn around, because you had to go, because it was right there, right after the last curve. So you have a little ways to get to that winery to turn around. And I thought, by the time we turn around, they're probably already gonna be in the woods. And
I think it's like Galena Road there. I think that's where we saw them right there. And it's paved for a little bit, and then it turns into a gravel road, and it'll take you back out to I think the 385. But
so that was pretty neat. So
they say the professional monkey talks more than you.
Yes, he does. I've watched his show. He is definitely different than me. Somebody told me he's like Howard Stern show. That the only thing, I don't really know the guy, and I'm not a loyal
Hopefully we'll
follower of
meet
his.
him.
And but he's just
We just don't watch
different on
TV.
what he does. I guess he's entertaining talking because he talks a lot too. I do see that. And I watched a couple of his videos about he was showing something he bought, and it wasn't until the last minute that he actually showed you what he bought. And I listened to all that stuff before, and I'm like, that really had nothing to do with what he was talking about. But and then I guess that's his style
Yeah.
of how he does his videos. He's doing pretty good. He's passed us up.
And he likes the pineapples, they said.
That's right. He's a pineapple guy, and so you got to get him to start talking about us. Because he's probably getting subscribers from me to him, and I ain't getting none from him because I've chatted a couple times on their lives and they never comment, which he's got a lot. Like the other day, they had the honorary one and they were down in Florida, and I commented 2 or 3 times and they never said nothing. And
You think that Wings guy would have? He's
yeah, we know
we've
him.
seen him.
And but it is what it is. We're not looking for
We're
extra
both similar
attention.
but different.
That's right. It is. It's
It
all
is.
about motorcycles.
Everybody's got their own
And
personality.
he's a little different, and he's been doing a lot, trying to get a video out every day too. And it's tough.
That's what YouTube likes.
Yeah. Well, his is a little easier to edit because he just talks. It's like here. This is simple. Doing a live is like a breeze. If I could do it live every day and you'd be happy with
He
that.
said he mentioned us in his chats.
Oh, does he? Okay. And maybe I just missed it. I only watched for a while when
I
he's on
know.
chat. I can't sit there and watch an hour or two of anybody's. Well, we have watched some people that we know their chats. But now we're so busy doing this that I've got to edit. So a lot of times I'm waiting for the computer to render. So I'll look through some of my YouTube videos and one of his will pop up or something because I've watched a couple of his lately and checked it out. And then because I
we're
found
trying to
him
support
somewhere along the lines about when we started, and he was about the same size as we were. Because I think he's been doing it 4 or 5 years now, so he's been doing it a pretty long time. And where we've only been doing about 1.5 years now. And then right after that, I think he almost went to almost a video every day, which I didn't have enough content during the bad times of all this crap. I didn't have enough content. And so that's why we're looking at putting this
we
garage
give out
up.
information.
And yeah, which is what we are. We're an information channel, and we want to show you a lot of stuff. Yeah, we don't have any pineapples.
No, he says editing is a pain in the pineapple.
Yeah, it is, and it is a lot of work. And if
It's an hour 45.
so
too.
we know a lot of people. We got a lot of friends on YouTube that are YouTubers, and some of them are weird. Some of them don't. They're like, oh, I don't want to talk to you. Oh, I know. I'm a big YouTuber, and I don't want you to take any of my secrets. There's no 2 people on YouTube that are the same.
No.
And there's plenty. There's a million YouTube videos coming up today on YouTube. And so look how many people are even watching us. We appreciate that.
Yeah, we do.
And
If anybody watches us.
yeah, and we don't really have Mohawk Mike is in our town. He's not a real big YouTuber. He's just kind of starting out too. And we'll try to get him on the channel
Yep.
too and help him get his channel going. I think he's got a dirt bike. I don't know what he's riding out on here. I think he's got a dirt bike too that he rides around in Arizona on. I watch a few of his videos now and then. But it's bad about doing videos like what we do, and probably like the monkey guy
Don't have
and
time
a
to
lot of other
watch
people.
everybody
You
else.
get to where you're so busy that we might watch. Last night we didn't watch anything on TV. Didn't even turn. So usually I turn YouTube on first and see. We have a couple people that we've watched since day one that has nothing to do with motorcycles. Now we used to watch Adam Sandoval relentlessly, but his content has changed a lot, and some of the stuff he's talking about I'm not really interested in. So I watched him the other day. I think he built him a new house.
Yeah, that was cool.
And
For Ashley. That was nice.
something else he did. I watched a video of his, but I don't really watch a lot of his. And I don't think he's been doing a lot of lives anymore. He'll probably do a couple lives while he's here. He's actually coming to, which is really shocking. He's usually sponsored by Law Tiger, and Law Tiger usually has put him up in Glencoe forever, and he comes out for that. Well, he's here, so I don't know if he's having to pay for what he's doing, or I can't believe Law Tigers would pay here because they don't like Law Tiger here for some reason, which we don't really know why. And it's none of our business, so we'll leave it at that. Russ Brown attorneys have gone major out here.
Yeah.
They've gone in and
They're everywhere.
bought up, given out a lot of money to get their names on stuff. And Law Tigers got a bunch of little flags hanging up here, there, and that's about all they get. Well, they got a balloon they're going to blow up out here. I can't believe Rod's going to not have a stroke over that, but it's on the property right next to us. He's going to blow a giant balloon up.
Not on his property.
Yeah, and so I don't know.
Well,
it hasn't
people
blown
said
up yet.
We came here from Professional Monkey.
Oh, okay,
So-
thank you. So,
that was
as I
good.
said, I don't know, because I know once in a while, see, I get on some of the other YouTubers, and they'll start asking us questions, like in the chat. When people do that all the time, talk among themselves in the chat. We don't seem to have gotten that yet in our channel yet, where people are talking to other people and they know each other, and so maybe we should do. We haven't done a lot of this since we've been in Sturgis. This is the most we've ever done live. Last year
And
we
it's fun.
Well, we didn't think. We call this talking heads because you only see our heads.
Bobbing around.
So they called us talking heads, and we never thought we would be interested enough, which somebody told me the other day, boring, and you can't please everybody. And there's also trolls out here and stuff like that. So, it is what it is. And I gave somebody a lecture yesterday, and it's on the feed there somewhere, which is basically what I said this morning
Earlier.
about we're not rich kids. I wish I was.
Spoiled brats. Yeah,
Her dad died and left us bills. So, well, he did.
I know.
So, and they were very wealthy, but he blew all of his money the last couple of years he was alive, and
My mom wasn't there to take care of everything, so
yeah.
that's
So
what happened.
she died broke. My dad died broke, and my mom was a penny pincher, and that's the way we grew up. And my brother and sister are kind of the same way I am. My brother worked all his whole life. They're all older than me.
Yep.
But
That Jonesy 72 said they met us on the boat in Myrtle Beach when we went on that boat
oh,
ride.
okay, that was neat.
It was fun,
We met a bunch of people. They forgot to have music though.
Yeah.
And they said next year they would have it on there.
but it was fun. We got to go
Because of
around and
the
talk.
virus was still going on. I think they were wanting to have like a one-man band on it, and they didn't do that. And then they didn't. When I got off, I said I thought they would have had at least like a DJ or something on there, because they had a little bar and you could get drinks, and you got a couple drinks free for buying it. It was pretty neat. They had a lot of. All the rallies are definitely different, and we're going to talk about that because I don't know if there's any YouTuber out there that has done the rallies that we've done this year. A lot of them come and go. To some of them, I know nobody went to Leesburg, but Leesburg wasn't too bad. It was a slower pace.
Hi, Big Tony.
We got good and pro. We really like the dealer over there in
yeah, he was great.
Useless. Wasn't the most exciting place in the world.
Eustis.
Yeah, Eustis. Wasn't the most exciting place in the world. But they
It was fun. It was neat.
they
It was a neat
tried.
little town.
They tried. Same thing. They thought they were going to get a lot bigger response than they did. They just shoved way too much stuff into 2 days. They opened
One
up like
day.
at Friday. Well,
Friday night. They had all day Saturday, and they didn't do nothing Sunday.
Yeah.
So it was pretty much one
a day and a half.
But it was.
Opened up at like 6 or 5.
It's a neat little town.
And
they
it
got
was,
some cool
and
restaurants
they
there, too.
just if they want to ask us questions, we can definitely tell them what they had way too many. They had like 5 bands playing all the time, and some of the bands had like 2 people sitting at it, and they had a big stage too that had some good bands and stuff on it. And
They
but
had
it
a
was
big engine down
but it
there.
was the same band that had played over at Gator Harley, so. But I mean, it was more of a local thing. Most of the vendors, Triumph and BMW was there. Guys, those the icicle glasses guys, they were there.
The guy with the KST, the handlebars. They poor guys didn't do anything.
Were they there? I don't remember them being there.
Yes.
And then these guys at Wall of Death were there. And then
That was at the dealership. They were the handlebar. guy.
Fajita Mike was there.
Yeah, he was.
We got to talk to
meet
Fajita
him.
Mike. So you can go back and watch that video in Leesburg, and you'll see Fajita Mike. I don't know if he talked about Full Throttle to us, but I don't know if I put that on camera or not. I probably did.
So we watched the honorary one a few times too, and it's just we just don't have a time to watch them all
Yeah.
anymore.
So we watched him a little bit. He doesn't have quite as many subscribers. I thought he had more people than that too. And he's definitely different. And
he looks like an old
and,
biker guy. I like
yeah, and the Wims, we really like him. I don't know if you watched the
Weems.
Wim.
Weems.
It's WEEMS company. We met him because he rebuilt some Triumphs from the Is it Art Man?
No, it's
Man.
David Mann.
David Mann. It's close. I had Man right. And those
From,
bikes,
from his portraits,
which I
David
never
Mann's
knew,
portraits.
those bikes were a figment of that guy's imagination. So they never really existed. Well, he's made 2 or 3 of them now, and he donated one to, what's that charity called?
Forgotten Angels.
And that's a great charity because I didn't realize well, they probably do this in a lot of states. Kids that are down and out, no parents, things like that.
Well, in the foster system,
when
once they turn 18,
they
it's
kick
like
their ass out.
there you go.
Goodbye. Well, what they did is that this organization is they're helping them find jobs, train them. They're also making a city that
Tiny
they
houses.
make these little sheds like you staying out here if you're staying in a cabin, and they fix it all up, and these kids build them. And then you can go in there, come out of there, and they'll rent it to you or sell it to you for like $26 a week. And then you can, at the end, if you stay long enough, you can actually own it. And then the next kid that comes in, you can rent it to him, and then you make that $25 a week. So they're showing them how they can make money and save and help them get jobs and help them get on their feet to where they be better people. And it was a great organization that I think was it like $90 million?
No.
$30 million? 40 million. It's a lot. No, it wasn't millions.
$90,000.
$90,000.
Yeah.
The organization
They were expecting
almost
to
had a
raise
stroke.
10,000.
Yeah, and he wouldn't tell them how much they had because I guess he knew what the total was, and they announced it on the stage, and we didn't end up going down there when they actually gave it away. Some of the other YouTubers were there and filmed all that, and that's fine. When we look at events like that, we were going to go down to OCC Choppers down in Tampa. It was going to open up. Well, we ended up finding 4 or 5. Well, the Wims went down there.
I think the Henry one might have been there too.
Yeah, I think he's from Florida too. And
so.
they went down there. I don't know.
The Badgers went too.
Yeah, so it's like there's enough people covering it. I don't need to go down there because I was going to fly in 3 or 4 days, do it. We were going to get somebody to pick us up and come back. And after I found out these other guys were going to go down there, I was like, there's no need me going down there and filming it too.
So I want to know if we're going to go see Vince Neil. Is that a band?
Sounds like it. I don't
Vince
know.
Neil? I
Not
don't
planning
know.
on it.
Weems Shade Tree. Shade Tree's the other one.
Yeah, Shade Tree.
And Flip are fantastic.
Yeah, Shade Tree. He's got quite a few
Shade
viewers.
Tree, yeah.
He's got quite a few viewers, but I don't think he's... See, I don't know who's got this. Does anybody know somebody that's got 750,000 subscribers? That's a motorcycle channel. You know,
Yeah,
I don't know.
She said she didn't know if it was going to
Well,
be
I know. But she thought it was Professional Monkey was coming there. And I'm like, no, he just broke 30,000. So he doesn't have nowhere near...
I don't know.
Let me look up the Shade Tree guy, because I don't remember what he...
Oh, Vince Neil's from Motley Crue.
Where's he doing it at?
I don't know where he's going to be at. Do you know where he's going to... Where is he playing at? I don't know. We'll see.
So that's all pretty exciting. And
Godfather.
was it
I got it right.
Shade Tree Surgeon?
Yeah,
that's
Shade Tree Surgeon, yeah.
He's got 200,000. So yeah, so he's a pretty big YouTuber. He's probably about the biggest. So I've never really watched his channel.
What about Weems? I know
he doesn't have that many.
I thought he was
no.
growing. Really
He's
big
growing.
too.
He's gained a lot. But no, Shade Tree Surgeon has got 212,000 subscribers. So he's got it. He's been doing it since 2006, though. It's
Oh,
a
very
long
cool.
time.
That's true.
So it makes a difference when you've had. But the longer you're here and the more dominant you are. Seems like a lot of the guys that have wives seem to do a little better by putting them on. I don't know if I was thinking of somebody else or not, but yeah.
You're gonna look up Weems.
Oh yeah, we can look and see what his is. I don't think he's that much because he just kind of started doing it. Weems Motor
Baron
Company.
von Grumble. Is he gonna be out here?
Wims has got almost 8,000 subscribers. So he's been growing pretty fast. Because when we first seen him, he didn't already have I think it was under 1,000 when we were there during the rally. So he's done really well too.
Yeah.
And he's got some really interesting. I don't watch a lot of his stuff either, because that's what it rolls into. We just don't have time to watch
Yeah,
YouTube
I
all the
know.
time. What was the other one
We
they
don't
said?
watch any TV. Baron von Grumble. Baron von.
Grumble.
Yep. How many's he got?
259,000 too. I've never heard of him. Is he in America?
Sounds like a German.
He's got a mustache on his thing.
I like her RW.
I don't know. He has a lot of...
I don't know.
No, it's
We're
interesting.
not-
So we watch more YouTube. I watch people that have been around a long time that have, which these guys have a lot of time, that have about a couple original ones. One is Adam the Woo. He's got about 300 and something thousand. For 5 years, he did a daily vlog every freaking day. He could edit off his phone. Not editing, he would film it and just cut it from each scene on his phone, and then he just pasted it. He just sent it up like
He
that.
still does that.
He does. Well, he does some editing, but he doesn't have a logo to start in the front. He doesn't have any fancy stuff. He just
Says, "Join me."
But he's a great, very, very great entertainer. And then another one we watch is Justin Scared. He used to be a band in California. These guys do a lot of Route 66. They're big Disneyland people. We're not Disneyland people. But a lot of the other videos they have are really good. We also watched The Carpetbagger. He's another guy that travels all over the United States. Adam the Woo had a motorhome for a short time. But they're very creative YouTubers. They are Justin is just, you'll be laughing. He's just a funny guy. And a lot of these guys all know each other because they've been doing it for, a lot of them are from the same towns in California. They go to all the same, they do the Star
like
Wars
Disneyland
and conventions, but they've gotten so big they get personal invitations to Disneyland and Disney World. They get to go in, they get a lot of back scenes. They've actually been in Justin's been in the suite where, what's the princess that died?
Oh, Princess Diana.
That slept in and died. Not died there, but died. He's been in her room at Disneyland. Only certain people get to stay in that room. He stayed there all night. So it's great. So and if you really want to see somebody that's really good on YouTube, very creative, it's called the Van Wives. And it's Van and then Wives. And you can figure by what they say, they're Van Wives. They're from Canada. Now, I just watched a little bit last night, and I think they're buying some property now or something. But they are very excellent in their editing. They put a video out about once a week. And
on Wednesdays or Sundays.
If you want to see something very artistically and work and to keep your attention, they've got it.
They do
and
a good job.
a lot of people watch them because they're lesbians, but they are very articulated. They're very editing. They spend a lot of time editing their videos all the time, and they're excellent. I stumbled over them, and if you watch it, you'll watch it all the way to the end because they'll show them waking up. Next thing you know, you see them pouring coffee in their cup. Next thing you show is the doors opening and the camera's outside. Then you see the dog jump out. Next thing you do, you see the dog pass you. It's constantly, and they do an excellent job of editing. But they only put a video out once a week, and that makes a big difference. Well, this kind of editing that I do here is cut and paste. I cut everything. I try to get to sync up the voices and get everything just perfect. Throw it in line. I don't do a lot of transitions. I don't do a lot of fancy effects. I put the text on there. I don't put dissolves on them. They just go in, go out, and that's the way they come out. And I can't spend a lot of time.
He doesn't have a lot of time because...
Well, I don't. My son-in-law that makes a 30-second commercial takes him about a week to do it. And there's a reason for that. It's a highly productive system, and you do that. And I can get to that level, and I can do a lot of that, but I wouldn't be able to put a video out every day. And that's what people...
He'd be up all night.
Yeah. People look at this. People look at this, and that's what they always say. Don't you worry that somebody else is going to do what you do? And I'm like, no. Just like Professional Monkey. We'll just pick on him. Not saying I'm picking on him. But let's say he's going to go out today and he's going to do what we did. Film all day long, get his clips and everything else, get it all lined up. We sometimes shoot as many as 6 different cameras. Lately, we've been using just 2. So 6 different cameras. You got to download all that. That's going to take me about an hour just to put the stupid junk into the computer. Okay, then you get it all set up and you finally get it in there. Now I got to edit it. It takes a couple hours to edit it, depending on how long it is and how many clips I've got to look through to get what I want. Put that all on my time. So we filmed all day. So we get back here last night. We got back here about 8 o'clock, and on the way up to the shower house, some couples yelled at us. We pulled over, and it was 10 o'clock by the time I got back. I was done editing by midnight. We uploaded it. First, I got to render it all, which could take anywhere from 30 minutes to 2 hours to render it in the computer.
Depends on the internet.
And then, no, that's rendering. Rendering's within the computer.
That's right.
Then I upload it. Well, now we upload at night and just let it go. I hit it. The computer's all lit up in the bedroom, and you let it go because you can't turn the computer off until they've got it upstream. And then after that, then they have to safety check it all, and then it's up. So then in the morning is when I get it, and I put it on our Patreon page first. And then later in the day, I will schedule it for everybody to see. So if you're on Patreon and paying for the $9 or the $25, you get to see the preview videos. Now, once we switch to 9 a.m. in the morning, probably isn't going to happen. So that's my day. So yesterday we started out. Where did we go yesterday morning? Did we do anything first thing in the morning? Or did we just go downtown?
Just downtown.
So it was about 8 o'clock or 8:30. We left in the morning and did not get back here till about 8 or 8:30. And the video you will see today, Now, we didn't put all the stuff in because I was running out of time last night. We had a couple of interviews. We had a shop downtown we did an interview with, a garage.
Oh, yeah.
And Chubby Cups, I didn't put him on because we did 2 cameras. And I got a flashback to where I shot him talking and Tam followed what he was talking about. So we're going to give him a little better video this time. And I just, being so late, I didn't want to spend that time doing it. I have had videos I've started at 6 o'clock and edited, and we're not done till 1 p.m. And then we got to get up the next day. So that's when I go back to my point. Am I really afraid of anybody going to do what I'm going to do? I challenge you to do what I do. And let me know after 40 days of being here if you can keep up with me. And because of the point that I look at is we had to pay $1,450 to stay here for this 2 weeks, a week and 12 days to stay here. Okay, we had to pay to come here. So if I came here to the rally to have fun, it's not going to happen because we're working.
That's true.
It's you really need to.
But meeting you guys is the
best last
part.
job that I had, I worked for a utility company, and for the first 10 years I worked there, I love working that company. I would have almost worked there for free. I had so much fun taking care of customers. I service technician. I went in and took care of customers' appliances, did a whole bunch of stuff. We did carbon monoxide testing for the fire department. Anybody died or anything like that. And I loved doing that, dealing with the fire department. They'd ask you on a gas fire, how do you want us to put it out? Well, let me tell you how to do it. Let's go around here and do this and this and this and this. And it's just great to have the chief come up and ask
2
you.
hours.
So that's really neat. And so I love that job. And then towards the end, it got to be a big corporation, and I didn't like it. I was president for a while. I loved that. And then when I came back the last 2 years, I didn't enjoy my job. It wasn't fun anymore. And I didn't really want to do it.
They nitpicked everything. So I want to know what kind of cameras, what GoPro you use.
Okay, the GoPro we have actually several cameras. We have 2 GoPro 8s, and we have 2 Osmo Actions by DJI. The DJI is 100 times better camera than the GoPro. And you're like, what? GoPros, stupid things, lock up all the time. I lose.
Oh, we got a super chat. Beggars and Brews.
What did he say?
Love the Sturgis coverage, guys. YouTube is fun, but people don't understand how much work it gets to running a successful channel.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of work, but it is a lot of fun. We're not complaining.
Don't say it.
Your GoPro cameras.
Oh, cameras. So the GoPro, we're constantly pulling the battery out. Sometimes you turn it on lately. I have 2 of them. The turn them on, and one of them I replaced. And one of them, you turn it on, and it's like, oh, cards corrupt. You know, I got the best card you can buy. And I don't have problems with it. So it's not the card. Because you turn it off, pull the battery out, it'll work again. Okay, the difference between the Osmo Action and, now I don't know about the 9 or the 10. I'm not happy with the 9 or the 10 because they're like Apple. They change everything. The batteries don't fit. The cage you put it in don't fit. None of that crap fits. They want you to buy all new stuff. Screw them. I'm not going to buy a 9 or a 10.
Everybody's saying they have the same problems.
Yeah, it sucks. Get an Osmo Action. Now, the difference in the 2 cameras is the Osmo Action, I think, is better for putting on your motorcycle. I've rode on the roughest ass roads with that Osmo, or with the Osmo Action, and it's as steady as you can get. Okay, number 1. The GoPro has a better microphone, and better in low light. But what do I use in low light, which I don't have it on me, is a phone. We have a Galaxy 10 Plus that I use on my gimbal, which is holding this, because see, we can move the camera now and it's not all jerky. So we're now using this because somebody really went crazy the other day when I did the quick one. And
I think when he turns around to show it to people, I think people get dizzy because it's like
that. So that's the 2 things that, and also the Osmo Action will almost run 1 hour on 1 battery. I got 4, but we have 2 of each, and it's got it fits in the cage I like. It's the one, if you watch the front of my bike, it's always the Osmo Action is on the front of the camera. So if you watch the one today, or that's coming out, it's going to show Main Street. And then the other day we had Main Street and we did the rides. That's the Osmo is always hanging on the front of my bike because the cage is permanently there because we use rickrack mounts, which they got this little wrench and they're metal. You can tighten them up. Nothing happens. So I wish DJI Osmo Action would get a new camera out. The reason I bought them originally because you can see yourself on the front. So when we're vlogging, I know I am. When I use my GoPro, I don't know if we're in frame or not. Normally are because I always shoot it on wide angle. Now the Osmo or the GoPro has that slow-mo. And if you want to slow it down, I've been playing with that a little bit. It's pretty neat. But when I drag it into my PC, I can't see it till I put it on the timeline. So what I do is normally I put it in, download my videos, and I can click on it, and I can watch it first in the player window. Well, the slow-mos won't play in the player window. I don't know why. So I don't know what's on those until I drag them in the timeline. So the other day we did some slow-mos at the Indian dealer. That was on the slow-mo on the GoPros. So we have 2 GoPros. We have 2 Osmo Actions. We bought a Sony AX53 something. It's a true 4-key. It's got a stabilizer in it. But what's bad about it, stabilizer is great going this way, but if I try to turn it, oh, it's just a mess. It can't keep up with the turn. And
so running,
yeah,
going forward is okay.
so we normally use that one always on a tripod, and it's got a zoom on it that you can go super slow. See, if I take it editing and try to zoom something in and out, I lose resolution and it gets really grainy. So if you ever go check out is Prime Cut Pro. He's almost got 900,000 subscribers. He's our subscriber that subscribes to our channel, and he's a friend of ours now. And he does a lot of slow-mo. Now, he's got the JVC, which is a $5,000 or $8,000 camera. I don't know what model he's got. And he's on his like a third or fourth. But he's a professional editor. He used to own an editing place. He used to do spring breaks, if you know what's going on there. He's in Florida, does mud runs and all that. He got into motorcycle rallies last year. So he's been to Myrtle Beach and Daytona, and I don't know if he went to Panama City or not. But and so we see him out, and we owe him a beer too. He won one of them. We had a contest. We gave away 6 beers or 12 beers. I don't know what it is.
I think 5
we gave
or
away
6.
some beers. So
6 beers, but
we
one
owe
guy
a
can't
handful
come
of
in.
people beers this year when they come out. And he's got a really good camera. I'd love to get that $4,000 or $5,000 camera. It's a bigger camera, but it's great for if you're doing like he does. He doesn't ride a bike. He might have a bike, but he doesn't ride it to the rallies. He films a lot from his truck, and also when he's doing the bike shows and all that, you'll see him out there. He's kind of got a beard too, and if you watch his channel, he talks a little bit now, and he's a really great guy, but he's an editor. So he's got a bunch of videos. If you've been seeing them all pop up about Sturgis, and it shows all these crowds, he's actually re-editing all his videos from last year, and he's been posting them up. And I think a lot of people think those are current videos, but they're not. But I mean, he's got 30, 40,000 views on almost every video he's put out. So he's really good at what he does, and I like his camera. So that's one of the other cameras we have. We also have the Galaxy 10 Plus. I bought brand new. We don't use it for a phone. It's only a camera. That is the best camera for low light. I can turn that on. It's pitch black, and it looks like it's got a light on it, and it doesn't. So I use that a lot when we're doing night. We'll use this gimbal. We have a DJI handheld gimbal. They're like $118. You put any phone in them, and it works really, really good. So we have that as another camera that we use. Is that all my cameras? I guess it is. We got lapel mics that we're starting to use. We got they call them the dead cats. I have that's what's on here now. It stops with the wind noise. They're so good that we can put our back to the band and you won't hardly hear it. Just like when we're down there at Loud America, you listen to that and there's music in the background. But if we can turn the mic a certain way, the muffle does it. And it's I got it from Amazon. A Rode. I only paid $54
Rode
for it.
mic.
Yep. And it's got dead cat on it.
Yeah.
It's got the fuzzball on it. And we use that almost all the time.
But beware if you're around a dog. The dogs go nuts
yes,
over it.
they will try to eat your microphone. And girls like to play with it. They don't know what they are. So, any more questions?
No, they just said shout outs to Beggars and Brews. I can't say that word. Quad father can't make it out. He's staying at home being a good daddy, taking care of the kids. So keep the bike spirit alive, they're saying. A lot of people said they had trouble with their GoPros too.
So I don't know. The GoPros are nice.
A GoPro took a rock the way of Sturgis last year and one delivered. Ouch. Yeah, that's how I'm always afraid they're going to fall off when he's got it mounted on the bike.
Now we used to use the Ram mounts, and I don't recommend those. We use them in the truck, and it's fine because you can kind of move them around. But on a motorcycle, the Ram mounts, you just can't get that perfect turn on it. So what we do now with the Rick Rack, they're all metal. So, and they give you this little wrench to tighten it up.
Tool.
So I leave the cage on. I don't worry about anybody stealing that cage. Unless you got that tool or a pair of pliers, you're not getting it off. So I don't really worry now about so much stealing it. With the Ram mounts, I always had to unscrew them and take all the parts off because I didn't want somebody to, steal that. Give them an opportunity to take it. And so the Ram mounts now, we have the one mounted up on the... If you go by and look at my bike, it still has the Ram mount ball there. There's one on... So the one now with the Ram mount with Rick Rack, I have it on the outside of the fairing. Where the one with the Ram, I had the ball on my clutch cape or my brake. It's on the right side brake. And so there's a ball there that I would put a camera on. It would look right on the side of the windshield. And then I got the ball down on the left fork, which now also has a camera mount there. There I usually mount the GoPro because it just has a bracket. You just put the pin through it and you use the cage that's already on it. Now we also
Watch out for rocks now.
we also have some cages that actually have protective glass on it. But I have that for the Osmos. And so I have some metal cages too for both of them. And then on the back, we usually put the Osmo on the back too when she hooks it up. We got shorty antennas now, so you won't see her antennas on her head no more.
I won't look like my favorite Martian. Did you guys see that? I don't know.
Somebody
Did
said,
anybody say it?
a couple
Oh.
people said it. So that's the other thing we tell you. I read every comment, even if she comments to it. And we do comment back to everybody. I always put a challenge out there, and we learned this from another big YouTuber that's got 200,000 subscribers. They answer everybody that does. Because that's what they say. If you take the time to watch my video,
I should take the time to respond to your comments.
that's right. So a lot of times, which now we've kind of gone back because we have a lot of people just give us thumbs up and smiley faces. Well, we're just going to give you a thumbs back. But even if you say something that's kind of political or something like that, I usually just say thanks.
Thanks for
because we
watching.
don't want to get involved with politics on our channel. We probably say way too much lately than what we should have been saying. Everybody's free. It's America. You can pick whatever you want to do. You can do whatever you want. It's America.
Everybody's right.
As long as you're not breaking any laws or hurting anybody, you should be just fine. So that's what we look at, and but that's what our theory is. I got it from that YouTuber that if you're gonna watch my video and take the time to write me, we're gonna write you back. Now it's different when we're doing the live feed here.
I know it's hard.
Because we tried that the first time we did it. Cam tried to do everybody. Well, it ended up being I was stepping on her, she was stepping on me, and people were mad because I wasn't letting her talk. And I said we could spend all day just answering your question or saying hi to you. And so.
They're talking amongst themselves right now.
Which is great. We love that because that shows you guys are learning to be friends of yourselves. So we like that because now we finally got to that next level. Because I think that's neat when people ask other people questions and
somebody else can answer for us.
Yeah.
They already know the answer.
So that's kind of neat. And because we don't know everything. And just like the cameras and stuff, I've been playing with this stuff now for about 1.5 years. And I bought some cheap ones from the sporting goods store. And that's what happened our first year. We filmed some stuff 2 years ago
2018.
thinking about we might get a YouTube channel. Well, it's a
2019.
stupid, cheap-ass camera. Said it was recording. We get home and the discs were full. So
And it was
now...
supposed to be a $35 camera, and like Big Five had it on sale.
Well, no,
for
it was like a
$19.99.
$95 camera for like $20. And they both were junk.
You get what you pay for.
That's right.
So it's over 2 hours. You're gonna lose this.
I don't care. Well, we already talked to everybody.
I don't know.
So we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. I guess she's getting tired.
I need to
And
go potty, and I need to move.
we got to eat the pancakes here. They're pretty good. Big fat pancakes.
Coffee break.
Didn't eat them all.
A 2-hour coffee break.
And then we're probably going to go in town because, like I say, we're looking to see if a few people are there today. Our next live will be Friday night or Friday morning. We're going to be doing
Tech Talk with Speeds
Performance Plus. So if you got any tech questions, send them to our email. It's Bob and Tam's Excellent Adventure. Actually, it'll be on today's video. Our email will be down there again. You guys can send any questions you got in case you're not up that early or if you're at work or, it is Friday. I think it's okay. I think the boss called and said you could call in sick. Tell them, pa-ding! They say that works out for some people.
I don't know.
Depends on your boss, I guess. The little dog said pa-ding back to us.
They did. The
bulldog. And he even wrote us the other day. He's the one that you seen, and he was
in the video.
kept driving by. Well, he was trying to get in the video is what he was trying to do. And we ended up getting him in there.
Yeah.
Nice guy.
We saw him at the convenience store.
He's a full-timer motorcycle
Yeah.
guy. I don't think he has a trailer even. He's full-time on his trike.
Yep.
And he might have a trailer he pulls behind it, but I don't know. So we're going to go ahead, because we're all out of drinks too.
Yes.
So we're going to go ahead and leave you right here in beautiful South Dakota at the Buffalo Chip. Hey, go back and watch Rod. We had Rod on here this morning, and we caught him over here.
Yep.
And
He was
so if you
eating
go back and
pancakes,
watch
too.
the beginning, we asked him if he wanted to come on our live, and he actually came over and sat down before we started and talked to us and stuff, and it was really neat. Maybe he really does know who we are.
If he
That's
really
special.
likes us.
Yeah, maybe he does. Can't tell.
So anyway,
So with that, we are going to leave you right here at the Buffalo Chip right outside of Sturgis, South Dakota. The sun's up. It's like it's almost noontime.
It's probably close. So thanks for coming along today. We hope you enjoyed our video. Thanks for all your comments and sticking around with us. Share us with your family and friends. Subscribe if you haven't already. Think about Patreon. Give us a big thumbs up. Ring that bell for notifications. And we'll see you on the next video.
Ba-ding! Nation #1 in the YouTube world. See, I can talk like Wolfman Jack. We'll all see you on the next side of the flip-flop. We'll check it out on the Channel B. Maybe you guys would rather hear me talk like this. And we get down. We used to have a guy. What was that guy called? The guy that had the puppet.
Oh, the craftsman.
Yeah. He talks like that. He says, hey, you guys, if you like this, maybe I start talking like this. And you would be watching all my shows. They're just cracking her up. She'd never be able to talk. Because I'd be talking like this all the way through the video.
Bye.
So, pa-ting to you out there in the P-Ting Nation. See y'all on Friday.
Bye.